Please note the views and opinions expressed by the hosts on this show are not necessarily the views held by the station.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
What else is new? Welcome to Kate's World. Let me see. Yeah, it's open. Okay, good. There we go. Oh, what a place to open up in Love and Stuff Room. Something about heart and panties. Oh my. Love it. You guys are a hoot. Absolute riot. Anyway, there we go. Trying to get yourself out of a situation? Well, yeah, it's called Earth. That's what I'm working on with you. Okay, well, yeah, absolutely. What a day. What a day. Yeah, we did the show earlier today. Ninja joined me. Miranda wasn't around. Haven't seen her for a little bit, so I'm hoping that she... oh, stop. That's that freaking mouse thing again, so let's just do that. Okay. I'm going to do that. It's not like I need the board right now, but still, it drives me nuts when it does that. I've got a little button on the side of my mouse. When I click it, it wants to, go forward or go back a page. So you just got to breathe on it. And it's like, wow, hey, you want to go back to that page. No, I don't. Anyway, so I trust you guys can hear me fine. But anyway, yeah, we had an interesting show. It's one of the things that I will say if and I do post the links for it on Facebook and in the chat rooms. Definitely shows they're once a week. It's almost like a sum up of everything we do here 7 nights a week, and because I know for the most part, although a lot of you join me at the table. For that show as well, there are a lot of people there that are new or newer to what we're doing, and I gotta share a really beautiful message I got today from what was her name? Got to remember her name. Anyway, I know the last name was Martinson. She still thinks she's a name, so I'll call her by her slave name. Where are we here? Okay, let's go forward and see if that opens up my page again for me. But yeah, it was quite something. This is crazy. Doesn't want to go forward, doesn't want to go back. So let's just reopen the whole bloody thing. At least it's up and running. Anyway, yeah, it was beautiful, and a few things came in, and of course, perfect timing, just ahead of the show, that were beautiful allegories. If you can see them, and you hear me say that all the time, if you can see them. I say that for a reason, because I still want to appeal to the tricky little bastard that we all have, to go, what do you mean if I can see them? I'm going to go looking now, that kind of thing. So, and I'm going to appeal to you as well, if you can see them, because I know you want to. So it's the only thing that will stop you from seeing this stuff is your ego. Also interesting to note, forget who had posted it. Let me just go to the page, and now I'll let you know who posted it, because there's a couple things there that I want to share. Get this show on the road. And here we go. Just waiting for my Facebook page to open up. Oh yeah, it wants to rush to other pages when I don't want it to, and as soon as I click on one I do, it doesn't want to do anything. Let's do that again. All right. Because I want to get to the messages to share what came in when it did and why. I'll start off tonight with tonight's first allegory. Oh, here. I'll start off with one I didn't share today already. And it's only because when I opened the messages this morning again, there was this... I was added to this group conversation, which I really don't... It's not that I don't like it, it's just I can't participate on Facebook because I can't type where that it doesn't work. Where it used to be great, I could type and everything be, in real time. I didn't have to worry about going back and editing, So like half a dozen words takes 5 minutes to put up on Facebook. So unless I pre-write it on a Word document, of course that slows my computer down. And then copy and paste it in, and it's like, everything just to slow me the hell down. That's all it feels like. So when that happens, I'm going, yeah, we're on the right trail. Cool. What was the other thing involving trails? That was it, chemtrails. Because it's funny, I just thought of that. And then I said trail. I said, why did I just say that? Because that's what I'm thinking about. Someone in this little group conversation had posted a picture of a jet with all these chemtrails coming out of it. And here's the allegory. And it goes back to that pilot that wrote Last Chance in the Sky, which I thought was very funny because it was indicative of Surrender Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, right? Which, of course, when someone's told to surrender, it's their last chance. So I saw the correlation. And you can't make this shit up. You can try, but you can't. It's already been made up. That's why we're playing. Right? We're just trying to play the game we created and create ourselves a little bit of illusion within it so that it actually, doesn't feel like we're in God mode all the time. But, well, chemtrails are from chemical trails, right? We always like to shorten things down, but it still works nonetheless. Now, ancient Egyptian, chem means it's black. It means, absolute black. So what are they saying? Black trails. And the allegory I got out of it, the first resonation as soon as I thought of this was, I got to get inside and follow my dark trails. Follow things from inside the dark. Of course, you think you can't see anything in the dark, so we stay away from it. And of course, I popped up a Gravity Falls video because someone had posted Mabel, a picture of Mabel on my Facebook. And of course, on her shirt, her sweater. And it's funny you posted that because I always paid close attention to what either Dipper or Mabel were wearing, what their friends were wearing. It's like the hard-nosed teenage boy. He's like almost like goth or whatever. He always has something on his shirt. One of my favorites is he has a heart with stitches through it, right? And again, allegorical healing of the heart in the divine male. And there's a lot of anger in this particular character. But when you look at Mabel and Dipper, the twins, the brother and sister, right, shared the same womb, right? So they were born together, is representation of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And isn't it interesting that Dipper, his nickname is because he has a birthmark that looks like the Big Dipper on his forehead. And what is the Big Dipper used for? Well, it's one of the most, you've got constellations like Orion, very noticeable, Big Dipper, and another one that is noticeable is Cassiopeia, which is like a W in the sky. And that one points the way to Cygnus. Big Dipper points the way to the Polaris, the North Pole, pole star. So polarized. And of course Orion, the belt, the bands of Orion that have bound us. And when, depending on what time of year, Cassiopeia will either look like a W, depending on where you're standing and looking up, or an M. So that's the as above, so below. And of course, when you follow the tail of the far side of it, it will point to Cygnus. And right now Cygnus is rising. Which was part of the really kind of coincidental sort of shit that I was going through last summer, in out of the blue choosing the allegorical ugly duckling story as far as my own genesis is concerned, coming into my own. So a lot of people say, oh, okay, ugly duckling, what's that? Now read the story, you'll get it, you'll get it. So after I did ugly duckling, it went to Cygnus rising. Then it went to Cygnus trumpets, and now it's Cygnus trumpet. And it has followed lockstep in everything that I've been looking back at, and it's perfect, right up to this very moment. So we're going to try to work a little bit more on how we spot allegories. So let me see if I got this Facebook thing open. Yeah, sorry, I was in a bit of a download there, so I wasn't looking at my computer. That's the thing, when I talk, I have to go inside. I can't... unless I'm sitting across the table from you and we're having a conversation, that will keep me focused because I'm focused on what I'm hearing, listening to the other individual. But when I'm just me, by myself, even when I'm playing guitar or whatever, eyes are always closed. I always go home. And there we go. Hey, Otis, how are ya? Good to see ya. Sean, Catlin, just going down the post here. Let me see. John, how are you? Johnny, Matthew, good to see you guys. And yeah, I've had those days too, Matt. There we are. So we got everybody. And 3 more comments. Sorry, guys. I do like to let you know that I see you. It's very important to me. And yeah, you know, it's funny, Johnny. You mentioned the spelt ideas wrong. Yeah, and I've seen that pretty much after And here's the thing. I had scheduled I think a week and a half's worth of shows, and I was typing quick and I put it up there. But here's the interesting thing, because there was 2 typos in that I didn't see until a couple of days later. I'm looking at, I missed the D in ideas and I missed the S in listened. But I said, all things for a reason. And if you've listened back to any of my shows, EA was the trigger that actually snapped the linguistics decoding of the whole language. It was something my daughter used to say when she was, in bed going to sleep. She had a doll. She would play with a tag, and until she fell asleep, she would say EA, EA, EA. And she did this for like 3-4 years. As soon as she could make any sound, that's what she was doing. And even then, I thought, what is she trying to tell me? I know she came with something to tell me. What was it? And it clicked one day last summer. I went into like a 4-day mental download of downloads. Never experienced. Well, I have not quite as intense as that, but in my life, I'd never experienced anything so intense. And what it told me was this: the EA is lowercase 6. The E and A in lowercase is 6-9 in the mirror, yin yang, which confirmed for me everything in the language means it's equal and opposite. So without that D, I took out the box. D is a 4th letter. The box around delta, which is a 4th letter in Greek, which is the box around our, divine Trinity, himself, herself, itself. So that box was removed allegorically. And I'm doing this in real time right now, because I looked at it and I pondered it for a second. I moved on, but I knew it was there for a reason. So there's the I of you, right? Balanced of the yin-yang, light and dark. And there's always a dark in light and light in dark, right? And of course S being the spiral, kundalini, serpent, feminine, right? And you put an S in the mirror, on top of itself you have infinity. So it's about rejoining that. There's half of your 8 or your infinite. And there was something else too. There's a lot of things that are just popping. I don't know. I can't keep up trying to write this stuff down or remember it. It's just coming in so quick. And now we go back down to the word listened without the S, right? Well, it lightened. The last link you lightened that. So that worked too. Funny, imagine that. So, but thanks for pointing that out, because I knew someone would eventually. So good eyes. Well done. You just proved to me that people actually read this shit. It's awesome. So scrolling down here, just want to get to some posts. But I thought it was interesting with the post from Gravity Falls, picture with Mabel with a comment on her sweater. And we've been talking over the last few days about Cloud Atlas, and a great post from Stephen out in BC. And what he was allegorically looking at, it was a link he gave me regarding quantum computers, which again is the allegory of us going quantum, going across dimensions. Right? Because everything in the physical mimics the spiritual. And if you're looking at things literally, you're missing the story. It will keep you spinning looking at things. And as soon as you get this, the ego doesn't stand a chance anymore. Because you're actually starring in your role in a movie. All the world's a stage. And I mean that quite literally. It's like this. If you went up to your TV set, and the TV set, it's sort of looking at you. If you can see it, it's looking at you, right? The TV set looks at you and says, "Hey, you're an asshole." What are you going to do? How are you going to react to it? Well, you probably go, huh? The TV says again, hey, you asshole. You're wondering what's on TV, right? So you say, well, okay, that's not a channel I really want to watch. So you change channel and turn on something else. That's what the ego is. Everybody's got their own little TV station. And it's talking when it needs to shut up. That's why it takes sledgehammers to them and chainsaws and shit. Okay? So when you react to somebody, you're actually reacting to a TV set. Allegorically. Because we are the mirror reflection, the mirror image of ourself, infinitely. So this is how I know that you are me and I am you. I am your reflection as you are mine. I'm only one part of your reflection. You are only one part of mine, because I am the sum total of all of the reflections I've ever encountered in my experience. Everyone I ever came into contact with, every situation I found myself, everything that I walked through in this life and any other, I am the net result total, sum total of all of those experiences, built upon itself. That's how I am you. In as much as part of you is in me and part of me is in you, in terms of experience. And that's the thing about experience. You can walk trails and then you can decide which parts of the trail you want to keep. You know, some are shiny stones, some are not, whatever, allegorically. And we decide to get rid of the ones that we don't want. And the one thing about the ego, the stuck-to-you television set, is it likes to pick up every piece of garbage, shit, dirt, underwear, you name it. It picks it all up. And it's, I'm keeping all of this shit. Mine, right? You know? And before too long, your camel's just packed with garbage, you know, packed with things that somebody said, packed with things that somebody's done, you know, and you hold on to this stuff. And of course, when you got so much garbage in your own TV set, your own camel, you can't. It doesn't matter what channel you go to, there's just going to be shit and garbage coming out of it. That's your ego. So hopefully that's a better allegory to try to explain it. So why you should never take anything personal from what anyone says to you. Do you yell at the TV set? Really? That's the only question you have to ask yourself. That's why you need to turn the TV off. The allegory of turning the ego off. Stop watching TV. Why? Well, there's a bigger picture there if you can see it, and I think I just outlined it fairly well for you. That's for everybody, me included. And for reference, I do speak in third party because I don't claim myself and I don't claim you. I am part of all. I am the one in all and the all in one. So hopefully that little allegory of experiences that you have had gives you the idea of how you are the all in one. As in, all that you've ever come into contact with is you as the experience of that consciousness, that perspective, that little spark of the all spark. And we choose our paths. This is why when people want to get into, yelling at TV sets, egos with other people, courts and all the rest of these illusions, look what you're empowering. It's making for a pretty shitty movie, actually. It's time to change this channel, I think, and that's where we're at. And these veils are falling very quickly right now. They are falling faster than I ever expected them to. And that's with me every day. I'm kind of, okay, what's going to come today that's just going to, how do I top what I just did? I'm talking in download and an epiphany. How, because I remember back when I was getting these legalese epiphanies and stuff like that, and you have these moments of aha, and I'm talking some beautiful ones too that just blasted the whole. I got to tell you, when I clicked on the whole name is fraud, we're the ones committing it because mom and dad gave it away and we're using something that isn't ours. That's the one I got the emergency passport on. That's the conversation I had with the British High Consulate. I said, I can't use this. My mom and dad gave it to the Crown. It's not mine. But I need to get my dad's ashes home. It was his last will, as spoken to me. And but I do not wish to commit fraud. Is it your intent for me to commit fraud and use something that's not mine illegally? And I still have to get past your, the ones that don't know what's going on. And of course, Paige says, yes, I understand. So, okay, well, we'll get your emergency passport sorted out, blah, blah, blah. I'm not kidding. I've got the passport sitting there. I've never been through customs so fast in my life. Pretty cool. Still, it's just illusion. It's part of the game to play. Don't focus on the movie so much. Start focusing on the more important thing, you. You're going to have all manner of traps thrown in your way, things to distract you, to get you off this trail. That's why we haven't been able to find it for so long. You know, the ego gets you all wrapped up emotionally in things, and family, and oh, here, let me ask you about your kids from the last life that you had. How are they doing? What do you mean you don't know? What about the lifetime before that? And the lifetime before that? What about your mom and dad then? What about your kids then? Cousins and friends? Where are they? What? Well, they obviously mattered when you were in that lifetime. Why don't you give a shit now? Because you don't know about it. That's the allegory. Yeah, I bet you never thought of it that way either. I kind of do this sort of stuff. This is kind of... Here it is, way outside the box, because there is no box. The box is the illusion. But I have to give something, some sort of substance, to give people something to look at. Ego needs something to analyze. And going back to Gravity Falls again, of course. I love Mabel, she says. Dipper says to her, I was watching the Time Traveler episode. Oh yeah. Boy, does that look so different than when I watched it last year. But anyway, Dipper says to her, says, Mabel, you're always right. Or he said, Mabel, you're right. And then Mabel says, yeah, I'm always right. And of course, Divine Feminine. That's your let it download, right? Hemisphere. You're too busy. And then, of course, what next step that Dipper does is he goes over to the side of a popcorn cart, and he starts writing out all this analytical gibberish of how to, fix his time traveling error so that he can get the girl of his dreams, right? So there's the left brain, masculine analytical ego going, click, 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 analyze. They're math, it's just everything thinking, whereas Mabel is everything trusting. She says, it's all perfect. And I got to tell you, looking at this episode today, it's mind-boggling. You just sit there and you scratch your head and go, how? Well, of course that's how I missed it, because all truths are layered. Everything is layered. And you get more profound and more profound as you peel the layers off. As the apocalypse, the leather covering gets pulled off, layer after layer, the veils drop. And of course, the veils open. Right, a veil is something you put, over the bride's face, for example, or a veil is a meadow, right? Something, an opening that you can see clear across to the other side where the woods is. Just silly little things like that. So anyway, getting back down to Facebook. Told you there's going to be some neat stuff tonight. I mean, there's been neat stuff since since the show this afternoon. Crazy. Yeah, there's Mabel. Thanks for the picture, Brian. It was Brian that sent that one over. It's got the star and, of course, the rainbow to the side of it. What was the other thing? Just moving down here. All right. Keep going. Bear with me, guys. It's like you have a choice, right? Anyway. Oh, and thanks to Immortal for posting the Wizard of Oz full movie online for free. I revisited King Arthur last night. What are the odds? Great shot of Bill Donahue, by the way. That's a perfect Bill shot. Thanks, Brian. And scrolling down because I got to get to this picture. Here was another one. This one, I think, from yesterday. Wow, some cops do know the difference between civil and criminal. Okay, now you can go all legalese and system with that, but my first reaction to it was, wow, some cops do know the difference between civil and criminal. What that is for me is the layers of the legal system are finally getting ripped off. where the truth is getting exposed on a grander scale. Great. I gotta tell you, I'm not sure what to think of that poster, Rory. That really wild-looking vampire face thing. That's, yeah, that was pretty intense. Where are we? There was... Oh, and thank you, Wanda, for the Crossover Kids. Great little video. If you go to YouTube and watch Crossover Kids, that's basically my story. Only I wasn't quite as lucky as the youngsters. Time and place, right? Some of us had to walk first, clear the way for those that are coming through now. It's a short, I think it's 15 minutes on transgenderism and situations. Very good. Of course, there's the Brazilian police sitting down with the crowd. There's another allegory of that goes along with the civil and criminal, which is nonsense anyway. So don't get caught up in the script anymore, right? That's what happened. We got caught up in the script. That's where the language really comes in, right? And scribes, Pharisees and scribes, right? They're doing all the writing, ritualing. But here we have these Brazilian cops sitting down with, there's looks to be thousands, probably millions if it's real. It is real. So, and that is an indication that the walls of Jericho are down. Because every time something like this happens, other cops see it. Ones that are even remotely awake see that. And it starts to eat at them. That's the seed that gets planted. And every seed, like the ones we plant, the things that we discover and uncover and hand them out to others, those are seeds that plant, and they will take root. That's the neat thing. When you find a truth, and part of the truth, and you plant that seed in someone, it's a virus. Because it will stay there. Because it's perfectly resonant with the being. You may not be fully aware of it yet, but they'll be pondering it. And that seed will take root, and it will start to grow. And there'll be a few other, things that being comes into contact with that cause that seed to blossom. There's how you wake people up. Without trespassing on them either. Just plant a seed. Casual conversation. Doesn't have to be anything serious. Nothing serious at all. Actually, the less serious you are, the better. Now, I want to go over to my messages. Contact requests. Thank you, everyone. Everyone. I'm not going to, especially new ones. No, that means I separate you from the ones that have been hanging out with me for, since day one. No. That's one of the things I used to hate about the system, right? You'd be like 10 years with a phone company, cell phones, whatever. And then you see this deal come out where it's like you totally get slapped in the face. It's not like you can call up and say, "Well, I'd like the same deal." Well, you can't. You're in a contract. You're screwed. We got you. We don't care about our customers that keep us here. We only want to make more money. So screw you. And that's basically what they say, right? Without actually saying it. Sorry, I see the allegories. Yeah, imagine that, right? Yeah, screw the ones that have kept this company afloat. Screw them. Let's give all the good deals to the people that have never tried us, and we'll manipulate them and entice them in so that, a year or two down the road from now, we can say, screw them too, right? Oh, thanks, Bell. Thanks, Rogers. Thanks, everybody, Yeah, we're going to have some fun tonight, I think. By the way, Thursday, I've got a triple header on Thursday. Woo! Hey, Tina, how are you? It's one of the newer people. Glad to see you. Rezu, good to see you. Let me scroll down here. Of course, Susanna, go get him in Greece, baby. Go have some fun. Oh, yeah, it was Zanya Martinson. Okay, let me just crack this open, just because. I gotta. And before I do that, it was Robert that shared something I had looked at 2 days ago. And it appealed to me because of what it was. Yes, it was Robert that sent this link over. It was a museum. Excuse me, not sure, can't remember where it was. Doesn't matter where it was. But they had Egyptian artifacts. I think it was in England. Egyptian artifacts. And one of these artifacts, the video's there. It's really cool. What they have is time-lapse photography from the security cameras. And over a few days, you see this, there's 4 statues, right, on top of this cabinet. And people can come in and look at them. And, of course, in museums, you don't touch shit, right? But over the span of 3 or 4 days, it seems, the statue, the big one at the far end, away from you, turns a complete 180 degrees, all by itself, during daylight hours. And actually, I think the only time you see it moving is daylight hours, when people are around to notice it, but it's moving that slow. And it's quite something to watch. Now, the first reaction people will have to something like that is, oh my God, there's supernatural, and there's a ghost or something, forgetting that this whole fucking place is supernatural. This is Harry Potterville, guys. This is Oz, right? They just got you thinking that it isn't, but this is Oz. This is our creation. We're co-creating this now, right now. So the first message I got from that was, oh, good. That means that the stuff that we've been uncovering. And this is what you need to really get this. You need to get this. That when you have an epiphany, it is a one of a kind. And it gets uploaded because you're consciousness, like the rest of us. We're all consciousness working together, having a game with ourselves. And everything that you click on matters for everything across the universe. That's the butterfly flap. That's why it creates a tsunami across the universe. So when you have an epiphany, it matters. You are the 100th monkey. Everybody is. Because 100 means 1. Right? There's only 9 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And every number beyond that factors down to one of those. It's called fractaling. Right? Fractal, fractal, fractal. And that's what we all are. We are fractals of this universe. So when we shift something, this is how powerful you are. When we shift something with intent, the whole universe shifts to accommodate. That's the helm that got taken over by a part of our consciousness. Hopefully that makes sense to you. But I saw the statue turning 180 degrees allegorically because it's from ancient Egypt. And of course, the pharaohs ruling from Switzerland in octagon, sending their Templars, Swiss guards, who look after the Pope to make sure that he does what he's told. Right? Yeah, it's a Swiss guard protecting the Vatican. You never put that dot together. I think I've mentioned it quite a few times, but that goes back to my UPU days, and it all came back. Everything I looked at, everything you look at matters right now, if you can see it. You've got to learn to trust yourself again. But with the statue turning 180 degrees, that was the allegory for the pharaohs are done, and we've turned the game right around in the other direction. Egypt is done. It is down. It is finished. The pharaohs are toast. And every instant that we keep going, I mean, I'm hell-bent for leather. I'm just like, okay, this is fun now. It's been fun for a while when you start seeing it. And this game is over. It is completely over. We're working through the last little bit of it. It's a big universe. It has to shift and adjust accordingly, right? Now, I'll show you another allegory of how desperate the system is. Because the system will show itself, be it religion or whatever, will always show itself in consciousness somewhere, somehow. I explained that whole silliness with the Boston false flag thing, right? Here we went from trying to destroy the human spirit by taking down the 11 in New York, on 9/11, of course, consciousness and spirit, 9/11. That's what 9/11 is, guys. 11's a master number. So is 22, as in catch 22. I'll come back to that. But they go, here we are at consciousness, duality, united, 11, twins, being destroyed, twin towers, and of course, they try to destroy the God consciousness too by taking down building 7. Seriously? Really? Don't think so. And they went all the way from that down to couple of pressure cookers with ball bearings for a false flag. I mean, that's a little bit of a contrasting difference. After 9/11, that's the best you got, and it is. It's all they got. All they got's illusion. Until we start looking at things as the allegory and not the literal, you're going to spin. And you're going to get caught up in all sorts of drama. You're going to be part of the show, whether you want to be or not. There's nothing wrong with being part of the show, but you better understand that you are part of the show, and then you start directing your movie accordingly. Wouldn't you rather direct your own movie instead of having some asshole direct it for you? Seriously? All right, so here's the allegory. Here's how I look at it. This is the system to me. Going from 9/11 planes and shit, and oh my god, down to pa-ting, couple of pressure cooker pots, down to this. This is what I got in a Facebook message. Of course, you can go to someone's Facebook page and check it out and message them. You don't have to actually like them or be their friend to do that. So I don't remember seeing a friend request from this individual. But wait, okay, let's play a game, boys and girls. Okay, let's play Spot the Ego and Spot the Savior program. But you got to do it all at the same time. All right? Here it is. This is from Zonya Martinson on Facebook. So Zonya Martinson, Martinson. If you want to maybe, fire off a love letter to her, here's a love letter she sent to me. I'll read my response as well. I got to tell you, I laughed. She even had to write it twice. Yeah, she actually posted it twice. Had to get both sides, divine feminine, divine masculine. So there you go. I didn't realize that. So here it is. Thank you, Zonya Martinson. Some of this shit, all caps, just shit in all caps, you have on this site is, all caps, pure evil. I came onto your site to see what type of a hold you have over my sister. You are a, all caps, freak! Somehow you have my sister mesmerized. She spelled mesmerized wrong, so I just want to make that clear. She spelled it with a mesmore instead of mesmer, right? Mesmerized. Just make sure next time you write mesmerized Zonya, if you're writing me, get that one right. So here it is. But make no mistake, the rest of her family has, caps, God on their side, and somehow, some way, we will find a way to rescue her from your clutches! Exclamation, exclamation. The reason you don't even know whether you are a male or a female is because you are not even human. Demon! All caps, of course. Exclamation, exclamation. So let me just read it in full for you I just wanted to let you know what I'm actually reading here. I laughed so hard. This is the level of attack I'm enduring now. Right? From, getting my house raided to this. This is what you get for standing in truth. You get stuff like this to laugh at now. So here it is. Some of this shit you have on this site is pure evil. I came onto your site to see what type of hold you have over my sister. You are a freak. Somehow you have my sister mesmerized. But make no mistake, the rest of her family has God on their side, and somehow, some way, we will still find a way to rescue her from your clutches. The reason you don't even know whether you are male or female is because you are not even human. Demon. Actually, I know exactly who I am. That's a difference, right? I wonder how she'll feel when she, gets to experience having a penis in the next lifetime, and then having to become trans. That's the thing, is that part of the consciousness that you attack, you get to become part of it, and you get to experience it. That's a golden rule. That which you wish upon others, you wish upon yourself. That's how creation works. So be careful what you're wishing for. So I'm looking forward to, not really, because chances are I'm not going to play at that level anymore. I'm done this level. It's boring. Anyway, so here's what I wrote. I put a heart, because I always do. I just let people know love's there. So I wrote this: spoken like a true, quote, believer, unquote, and religious zealot programming. Not sure my teacher, Jesus Christ, would share your sentiments. Much love to you, Kate. So that's how nasty I like to be with people. So, but there it is. and as I said in the show this morning, that had been 3-4 years ago. That probably would have hurt. That probably would have got my ire up a little bit. That probably would have had an effect on me. Now, well, it does still. I laugh now. Because I know what it is. That's a TV set talking. That is a fully programmed being that is sitting inside their ego and hasn't got a fucking clue as to who and what they are. And here they are talking about God and this, and they haven't got the first clue of what spirit is. Because they didn't even know they're alive yet. They're walking dead. They're zombies. They're showing on TV all the time, movies and stuff. Zombies? That's the allegory to tell everybody that's walking on the face of the earth, you are the walking dead. You have the mark of the beast. You're walking in the whore of Babylon. And everything you do in the whore of Babylon is pure fraud. The money, the loans, everything, all of it is pure fraud. You're committing crimes by doing it. The gentleman I watched a video this morning, YouTube user Servant King, made a beautiful little video. This is how I know this information is getting into the Akashic and downloading. This is a very recent video, and he was outlining a lot of stuff. He's got a really good handle on it. Still in the physical, but he's got a great handle on everything that's going on. And one of the things there was, and for anyone that has a license, what the license is saying is that you are intending to commit a crime. Of course you are. You're committing fraud. You're using something that doesn't belong to you. Anything you think you own, you don't. And I mean anything. Anything you think you own, you do not own. Because you're always getting it secondhand. Whether it's, from someone somewhere along the line had to pay for it. Right? You don't own property. You don't own anything. You don't own your bank accounts. You don't own your cars. You don't own your trucks. You don't own your houses. You don't even own your families. It's all been registered. It's all been taken from you. It's a perfect, as he put it, swindle. But it was done in pure deception. You see, in cosmic law, it kicks into gear there. This is why the game is over. Because we found the swindle, we found the fraud, and more beings, parts of our consciousness, in that, quote, 100th monkey, unquote, effect, are waking up grand scale. I mean, hell, they're walking the streets in the millions. You don't see that in the meat stick media. Not a chance, right? They don't want anyone seeing that. So that is the allegory of systems fear. That's how powerful we are. They're so afraid of us, they can't even show us. They're so afraid of us that they, have to ramp up things and throw clues like black trail, follow your dark trails in the sky. And all manner of things. And the only thing that will set you free, and the only thing that will keep you safe and untouchable, armor-plated, is truth. That is the long and short of it. Only the truth will set you free. Truth is unconditional love. And it is infinitely sparkly. And it is infinitely layered. And all you need to do is, once you discover a truth, to stand in it. And be resolved to stand in it. Resolve. Light of God. You. Soul. There's the soul, the Son of God, the light of God, the soul essence, solar plexus, and V-E, from verily, truth. You need to resolve and be resolved to stand in whatever truths you find. Because here's the catch-22, the damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you understand a truth and know it to be true, yet you still want to play in it, the movie will act accordingly. And the pendulum will swing back. You see, here's the thing about damned if you do, damned if you don't, when you're talking in terms of physical versus spirit. You see, when you make a decision to stand in the truth, you're in a catch-22, because as soon as you do, your spirit is going to flourish, and of course universe comes onto your side, But in the physical, what you'll see as an illusion is you decide to stand in truth. What the universe will do is start to break down all the walls of Jericho around you. All the things that are possessing you, things that you are possessed of, will start getting ripped away from you. It's all illusion. It is all illusion, and I'm talking about even the ones that you are desperately in love with, and kids and all of it. It's all illusion designed to hold you in place. It's a game. Stop taking it so seriously. And I know I can say that with complete humility because I took it very seriously for a very long time. A very long time. This is why we can never find it. Because the hardest thing to do is to look at everything that you love and say, that's not real. Oh, and there'll be beings on this planet say, oh, that being's insane for saying something like that. I said, really? Okay, show me anything on this planet in this reality that's sane. You show me someone that is going, yay team for war and all the rest of it, I'll show you a fucking psychopath. You show me a minister that says it's okay, and they do, or a priest or whatever, to, rape and mutilate rabbis. Can't forget the rabbis. Children. And it goes on, and that's okay? That's sane, is it? Yeah, that's the scary part. There are people walking around this planet claiming to be sane. We've all had our bouts of insanity. We've all went, our side is winning this and your side is losing and whatever. We've all played those silly games. Unfortunately, a lot of these games cost us some of our, meat sticks, but those are experiences too as part of the movie. You've played those roles. And there's going to be others that are going to play those roles in the future in this particular game, right? Some of us will be stepping out of it and changing directions. This is the pole shift. It's where we bring the magnoelectric into balance, into the center of zero central point, right? The 0 point within. It's time to start spotting your little dragonfly within you. At least that's what mine looks like. Tiny little dragonfly. Beautiful. And I'm surrounded by them. I mean, of course I got the dragonfly tattoo on my back last summer. It's my sister's birthday on Thursday, June 27th. That's when I got it last year. It was her 50th birthday. 5. There's that beautiful 5 again. Yeah. It's all there. I mean, I can't look at anything now and not see where the connection to me is, where that resonant is for me. And I'd love to hear some of you guys and your experiences. And I know there's a bunch of you really catching on to this. And I'd love to hear from you. And Bindi, sorry I missed you on the board earlier. You were on there today. I am hoping that you will jump in here tonight. And that way I can get your comments. I was in read and download mode, so I wasn't paying close attention to the board. So if you are out there, Bindi, I'd love to hear from you. Where are we here? Heading over to oh my goodness, love and stuff. I've been talking for almost an hour now, so yeah, it's a couple hundred posts in there, so I'm gonna have to where was it? All right, Croc. What would be addressed on the show? But I don't know when the show is. If you can post that one up again, that would be great. Yeah, okay. Or for shows where every Zanya, Nav, every I love it. Perfect. Okay, here's my schedule. Got a triple header on Thursday. Excuse me. Typically Monday, 7 to 9 is the radio show. We do that 7 nights a week. So 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, midnight to 2 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. is this. Monday nights, after the show, 9 o'clock, I typically do a show with QL Television with Johnny Guzman. Or Johnny Guzman. I gotta learn to say it right. Right? So that's QL Television, Monday nights, right after the regular show. Tuesdays, I do the afternoon with criticalmassradio.co.uk main page from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, 6 to 8 Greenwich Mean Time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Now, of course, for all the beautiful Oz listeners, and I got to tell you, I love Aussies. You guys, I love everybody. You know, you guys just got a bit of extra hellfire going on right now, and it's just beautiful. So, quite ripper, Ladies and Bruces, you know, you guys just, yeah, that's all I can say. And of course, it's always typically 11, I believe it's 11 a.m. the next day to 1 p.m. Every day in Oz. So, which is not always easy for everyone down there, but of course everything's archived. Now, so Monday I do 2 shows, Tuesday I do 2 shows, Wednesday 1, and this Thursday I'm doing the show on main page with Lisa from Critical Mass Radio, who will be interviewing me. So this is going to be a triple header in a very neat way, because it's 3 different varieties of the same thing, which I'm really looking forward to. So Lisa's going to be interviewing me, and I love to be interviewed because I'm a lot more calm, not stressing about what I'm thinking about. I answer questions better than I can. I am just a better interview than interviewer. And so that's, I believe, from 4 to 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which will be 11 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'll put all the links up on Facebook and through the Skype rooms. They're always there. And then, of course, the 7 to 9 regular show, and Thursday night, because Johnny couldn't do it last night, I'm going to be doing the show with Johnny on Thursday night with QL Television. That's not normal, so it's going to be a bit of a marathon day. And, of course, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, regular shows, and I've been known to do other shows over the weekends, depending on who tags and who needs and whatever, it doesn't matter. So hopefully that clarifies the schedule a bit better. It is a busy one, and there you go. All right, so who we got in the chat room? Come on, or on the board here, guys. Hands up. Hit 1 for... Oh, let me see. Did I see that? What do we got? Just looking down here. I recognize a few of the numbers. Yeah, just hit 1 on your dial pad if you want to jump in here. I'd love to hear from you. You can call in at 661-467-2401, or you can Skype in, refresh the page. When you see the Skype button, just click the Skype button. Oh, here we go. Area code 412. Thank you. This is how we get it done. We do this together. We don't just listen to Kate bitch rant all night. I know it's fun.
Hi,
but...
Kate.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm laughing. I'm laughing so hard because what you were reading before about this woman saying you're not human.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Of course not. I'm gone. Who are you? Silly.
So funny.
Yeah, unless that
because...
Jesus boy is a liar. I don't know. I take him at his word. Great teacher. It's Christians that love to call him a liar. I don't know what that's about, but whatever.
Well, the people around where I live don't think I'm human either, because I don't go around gossiping with them. I stay to myself. But the other day I had to, I called one of them. They want to cut the trees around. And I'm saying, what is it wrong with you people wanting to kill trees? Where are the birds and the squirrels going to go, and this and that? And I said, you must be cold-blooded reptilians. That's what you are. And they were so scared when they looked at me. They turned white. Like they never heard that before. They didn't think I know.
Well, that's the thing.
Anyway.
Excuse me, that's the thing about this. When you start looking at it from this perspective and understanding that it's just a show, you're getting upset at the TV set. That's what ego does. Ego gets upset at the TV set. You know.
Yeah.
The way I can correlate Zanya is like someone that's watching a hockey game or a baseball game on TV, and somebody screws up and they get all pissed off, or somebody scores. What happens when somebody scores a goal? Everyone goes nuts, right? Or a home run.
Yeah.
The crowd goes crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking just the ones in the stadium. I'm talking the ones that are watching it on TV. Who actually says that the game is actually going on?
Exactly.
You know? I'm trying to remember the name of the movie that's... okay. Jim Carrey was in it. It was where they were... You know, he was put in an illusional world and kept in there until he finally started to wake up and see that it was just a stage production that they've been following in his life. So if anybody can remember the name of that movie, if you could... Lambertus, you're too funny. If you could share that would be great. I'm trying to remember the name of it. But that is pretty much exactly what we're dealing with. So there you go. We're inside an illusion.
Yeah. I wanted to mention something about
the Truman Show. Sorry, the Truman Show. Thanks,
talked
Ninja.
about circumcision. It's something that I can't make sense of it, because I don't know why people do these things to themselves. But I also I realize that most people aren't aware, and it's not really talked about a whole lot, that women are being circumcised as well. I mean,
in India, that's a standard practice. Okay, Claudia, I don't want. Hang on, kiddo. Just a sec. Hang on a sec. I don't want to get caught up in this illusion. Okay. I've already explained what circumcision is allegorically. We got to move away from the physical. It's keeping everybody rubbernecking the lies. Circumcision on the male is the divine feminine spiritual essence in the physical being removed. That's what its allegory is. It's symbolic. It mimics. See, this is the part of the movie that people aren't getting. The physical mimics the spiritual, not the other way round. All right? The spiritual creates its cause. Physical is created, effect. And when we get caught up in being affected by physical, that means that physical has done the mirror trick, the swindle, and put physical as cause over us, spiritual, in the mirror. So don't get caught up in this whole, oh, woe is me, and all the rest of this. We've moved past that, love. We need to keep moving past that, because this has been the cause, as far as I can see, and feel, and sense in all ways, how we got trapped. We have become an effect to the physical, not cause over it. So I'm trying to, based on the energy of what you were saying and where you were going, that's exactly where it was going, back into the quagmire. I need you to see the spiritual correlation. Once you see it, the charge is gone. It's blown. There is no more emotional attachment to it. What keeps us here is the emotional attachment to the physical illusion. And it will hold you forever if you let it. Those are the chains. The whole physical realm are the chains. Yeah, it's a great experience, but we've been trapped in our own game. Time to get out and play a new one. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can play the same game,
I'm
just
with
not get caught up in this illusion so much. But I'm glad you brought that up, because if you hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to explain it the way I just did. All things for a reason.
Wonderful.
It is.
Yes. Well,
does that answer your question?
You're beautiful. Oh, yes, absolutely. You're always, every day I listen.
Well, you're just listening to
you.
yourself. So that's what I need people to do. When people finally get the notion that we are all the experience of each other, and stop taking ourself, our little ego, our separate identity so seriously, we'll get along better. We'll create much better worlds too. We won't
much
need cops.
better.
We won't need cops and judges and lawyers and criminals and rapists and pedophiles, and we don't need those in our universe.
Oh,
We've seen it, we've experienced it. Now we can create worlds in contrast to that. Because you don't know what true bliss is until you know what true horror is, you see. So it's just, the mirror. We've been through a lot.
Well, would you say people take literally when they said ignorance is bliss? People actually believe that it is bliss. That's why there's so much ignorance in the world.
Well, absolutely, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is savior program. That's what the churches and governments and schools and all the rest of them teach. They teach ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll do it for you. Don't worry. We'll send someone from out of the sky on a white horse to save your soul. Oh, don't worry. You don't have to worry about being unemployed. We'll come and save you with some table scraps. Oh, don't worry about. See what I mean?
My soul, yeah. As if my soul needs to be saved. I mean, the soul needs to be saved. That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, really.
Well, my favorite question I used to ask Born-Agains especially, I'd say, when you die, where does your soul go? And the first thing they say every time is, well, my soul goes to heaven. I said, great. Where are you going? You see, they even speak of the soul as something separate from them. They don't know who they are. When you die, where does your soul go? Well, me? That's me. I'll choose a new game.
Yeah. Well,
I
was outcast. I was outcast from a group. I was one. Once I was sitting with a bunch of people talking, most of them older people, and then in the conversation they were talking about all the animals they eat, and I'm going. I said, well, as we grow, we decay. They never talk to me again.
Well, yeah, the ego doesn't want to hear about its own death coming up because the ego can only live in the physical. See, the ego can't live in the spiritual realm. It's a physical creation. It's a program. It is an external construct that we take internally. That's why I call it the tricky or tough little bastard, right? Because it's the one thing that makes you think that it's you. So, anything else, kiddo?
No. Oh, no. I just wanted to touch base with you. It was so funny listening to you. I wanted to say hi.
Well,
Thank you, Kate.
I'm glad you did, and hi right back to you. So, absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity to show some contrast. That's all I do.
It's wonderful.
All right, kiddo?
Thank you. Thank
all right, so I'll put you back in hold and get back in a Katie bitch rant mode.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks, Claudia. Much obliged, love. Keep it up. You're doing great.
Yeah.
All right. Always nice to hear from Claudia. All right. Let's do a tune. And then, Rezu, let me see what you got first before I... Truman Show, thanks. Look at all you guys just coming right to the rescue. Perfect, thank you. Speaking of, I may need a little help in the coming few days, but that's okay. I'll wait till the last minute. I prefer desperation. I put the universe to its absolute limits. And we'll see what happens. See, this is the thing. I don't care anymore because the script is written. I'm just following it now. It's beautiful. Razy, thank you. You see, we do this together. I get to experience you. You get to experience me. We get to experience each other. And here's the difference. We sit around the table equal, right? You see, you won't find people. The only people you will not find at this table are those that are walking, as I like to call them, the most balanced people on earth. They're the ones walking around with a chip on each shoulder. They're the ones angry at the world. They're the ones miserable in their situation. They're the ones blaming outside of themselves for their own inabilities, their own willingness, and it's willful to be ignorant. They're willfully separating themselves from consciousness. And they will stay separate until they decide they want to be part of it again. That's okay. I'm going to love them all the same. How can I not love me? Because we're all part and parcel of the same thing. So when you come to this table, this is why You need to know how amazing you are. You come to this table, and you partake of the feast and this truth that we put on this table, and everyone gets to take whatever they want. It's a never-ending story. It's a never-emptying table. It's infinite in its scope. Now, if you had access to infinite abundance, how much worry would you have? You wouldn't have any. Only in the physical realms can you have that limitation. Our table is set, and it's set spiritually, where we come to this table to become cause again over that which has been creating cause over us in the physical. That's why we are children of a lesser God. Not anymore. New game, new rules. And we make them this time. Now it's our turn. Just to quote Critical Mass. So let me toss a tune on here, and then I'll reboot for the next round. What do we got? Let's see. Put that one there, and I know what I'm going to play, because it jumped out at me. And here we go.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Hush now softly, can't you hear? Mockingbird, she must be near. She sings her song, the bio lullaby. Misty morning, lazy sun, broken only by the river run. Mississippi River, take me in your arms. Take me in your arms for just another day. Floating by, I can clearly see Baton Rouge to eternity, New Orleans backwards into time. The Delta blues are more than song, broken dreams long lost and gone like a cotton field, laying falling by the wind. But that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Wouldn't want it any other way. Friendly smiles enough to say, yeah, it'll be alright, and I don't have to worry none. Friendly word or a passing wave makes southern sense when I'm away, and I'm just glad I'm back where I belong. I'm back where I belong. All my worries, all my fears, up and leave me, they just disappear. Like so much nothing, so much for taking time. 'Cause on the water or on the shore, this is home and so much more. Old man river, take me in your arms. Take me in your arms. I'm home sweet home again. Wouldn't want it any other way. Friendly smiles enough to say, yeah, it'll be alright, and I don't have to worry none. Friendly word or a passing wave that makes southern sense when I'm away, and I'm just glad I'm back where I belong. I'm back where I belong. Hush now softly, can't you hear? The mockingbird, she must be near. She sings her song, the bio lullaby.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Yes, indeed. I've got a couple of interesting things going on right now. I've just let Ninja know about one of them, and I say, isn't that bizarre? Also heard from MJ. I'm waiting for a file from him, and it would appear that somebody doesn't want me to have that file. It's the Black's Law First Edition. There's a few other things in there too, I'm sure. But yeah, it doesn't take long for an hour to go by, does it, Disco? Let me tell you. Yeah, it's actually an hour and a quarter. We got 45 minutes on the air left. Now you can imagine how fast my Saturday morning shows went. They were only an hour long. I just get rolling and boom, we're done. Yeah, and then we roll into the overtime. I'm not sure how much we'll do tonight. I've already done 2 shows today. I don't want to, burn it all up on you, all this fun truth stuff. But Bindi, we got you in the call here. Hon, how are you doing? I'll give you a second to unmute. There you are.
Hey there.
So, what's on your mind, love?
Oh, heaps.
Mm.
Yeah, quite a bit of, hang on, just turning up the sound here a bit because I can't hear that thing.
No worries. Oh, are you on speakers?
On laptop.
Okay, just angle your mic away a little bit because it should reduce, there it is, reduces the feedback.
That better?
That's perfect. Thanks, hon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
By the way, everybody, laptops are built that way. At a certain angle, the speakers will not be picked up by the mic. It's a very directional mic.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks for the info.
There you go. So
Yeah.
I always love hearing from powered up, perfectly centered Scorpios. What's on your mind?
Well, I've been walkabout, as I said, and I've had a bit of a download that hinged on a lot of stuff you've been talking about, and I was wondering if you wanted me to read it.
Oh, please. I mean, I'd love to hear from myself, Bindi.
Okay.
What am I thinking on your end?
Okay, it's quite hard for me to put it in words because I'm very visual. So here goes. The working title was The Above and Below of Indigo, but it turned out to be The Fool's Card Short of a Full Deck. And
that's interesting.
Yeah, the tarot. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was going to say that's tarot. Fool is 0, by the way.
The Fool's Card Short of a Full Deck. So there I was, walkabout, hanging upside down. Actually the Fool, in the middle, not knowing, not feeling, not desiring, cancelling it all as much as I could. Being on we helped a lot. Right, the blue spectrum. It keeps popping up everywhere. I've been called an indigo. Some have made it bindigo. Whichever it does. My name means awake, and Bindi is the center of the forehead, the dot. On the show, on this table, I learnt that menstrual blood is the original dot, the red dot. So, what I learned, I practice immediately, and shit, did it open the pineal.
Keep going.
Yeah, indigo, delicate dance, cool water, and the less obvious red face of Scorpio, the fire, I see you, the eagle-eyed see all, blue, patelo blue, Prussian blue, royal blue, the kingship, high kingship, wielding a sword of service and protection, but always yielding to the heart of hearts, the high queen. High king must face his dark night, and the high queen must face her Morgana. The tantric unison, the return of Merlin. On the physical level, the heart of hearts is the thymus and the sac around the heart. This is a unison gland. It secretes a hormone that we are taught stops by the time you hit puberty. Hell no, it still works. You just got to help it along again. By drinking, we do that. Especially for the male, it is very important to meditate on this place in the body to bring back the sacred feminine, especially for women just as much, because we've all got the feminine and the masculine side in ourselves, and both sides are pretty wounded. And that's when Chiron came into the whole download and pointed up at the sky and just asked me, "Are you serious?"
Keep going. I'm getting what you're saying. This is beautiful.
Okay.
Do you have the Arthurian deck, by the way?
Not yet.
Because those are all Arthurian men, like Morgana and Arthur and
yes, exactly.
Merlin.
It's a story in a story.
Yeah.
And for anybody who wants to, just follow it.
Just a little note here before you continue. For all Scorpios listening right now, I need you to pay very close attention to Bindi. Because what Bindi has done has found both her dark and, more importantly, has found her light within. When I say someone is balanced in their sign, you see, Scorpio talks about I want. And the hardest lesson for a Scorpio is I don't want. That's why listening to you, and I'm telling every Scorpio out there, pay very close attention. This is what a balanced Scorpio sounds like. And they're dangerous and they're beautiful. Keep going.
Okay. Where was I? All right. Chiron entered, and it's anthropomorphic. Hang on, what's the word? Anthropomorphic.
Yeah, anthropomorphic or whatever.
Yeah, projecting the humanity on objects, things, whatever. I do that a lot with the planets, the wanderers. I go wandering and talk to the wanderers. I've painted them all, the female and the masculine side of them. And Chiron has been recently added to it. And it's actually shown me a very important thing about the heart and the thymus gland, is that...
What's the gland again? Say it again.
The thymus gland is just above the heart.
Thymus.
Thymus. I'm not sure if that's the English word. It's I think it's Latin, the thymus.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And that, together with the sac around the heart, is a part of the endocrine system, which
I want to actually bring back to the thymus. This is critical.
Okay.
Right. We are trapped in time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Time.
And you've been told that once you are born, you start dying.
Yes. Time us.
Yes.
Got it? Okay.
Yep.
I just want to keep reinforcing with people, get phonic with this stuff. Do not get spellbound by what you think it means, by what you were taught that it means, by definition or anything else. Get rid of the we know what the definitions are, okay? Let's start listening to the real words again. Time us. Really, indeed. Saturn, what is Saturn all about? Time, Saturn. Time us. Trap us in time. So carry on. So moving on from that.
Okay.
This is incredible.
Yeah. Well, I was nearly at the end. So, two words that Chiron gave me as well was you've got the word vortex, and the opposite of that is void in. X as in out, in, void in, vortex. So don't always go into vortex situations. Check where the void in is first. That is your center, that is your grounding. That is the female magnetic center.
Now, to continue on with your vortex, here's how I hear it. Vortex, right? Vortigern, and the Tower card, number 16 in tarot.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, hex, 6, hexagon, to be spellbound, to be trapped in a hex, casting a spell, right? So, oh yeah, nice download.
Thank you.
Nice freaking download.
Yeah, mirror, mirror, my royalty and service, the servant king. There he is again.
Just a coincidence. Everyone look away, right?
Oh, I kept falling off my chair when I was listening to you this afternoon. I thought, shit. You in my head? So, yeah, of course you are.
We are. This is where our telepathy returns. We start thinking as one with our own beautiful perspectives. We retain our perfect individuality in perfect community.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
awesome.
communing with whatever it was around me. I wasn't analyzing it. I just let it in and trusted it.
I had a wonder. You just said that, and here's the picture I just got. when you said communing with nature and whatever. But I was out here sitting this morning. First thing this morning, I'm hearing this cawing, and on occasion the squirrels like to come up here when no one's around, and they'll check around. Cause sometimes I'll leave crackers out, and they'll help themselves and whatever. But this morning I'm sitting in the chair and I hear this behind me, and then I could see the little paws as they're climbing up the fence board on the deck here. And this deck's about 12 feet up off the ground, so it's not like they can just jump and run, right? But I saw this one, and of course the squirrels know me, right? I feed them. But every time I've seen them in the past, as soon as they know that I've spotted them, they bolt. And this little guy today, and it's actually the skittish one. I'm sitting there, and as soon as I spotted him, I'm looking through the fence, and I can see his face, and he's just looking at me, right? And my normal signal is I just, right? And they know what that means. I mean, food, excellent, right? And it's funny because I've gotten to a point now where I'll do that, and they'll stop and they'll look, and I'll hold my finger up. Hang on, I'll go get you something, and they wait. So anyway, normally this guy would just like bolt, right? But he's looking at me, and then I was beautiful. The first time I had this chance to connect with this beautiful little creature, looking at the consciousness and going, it's okay. I'll be right back. I'll get you a cracker. And so I did. He had actually went down to the normal spot where he gets crackers because that's kind of what they're used to. But my feeling is if I had had a cracker sitting here beside me, I could have just reached it through and he would have taken it. That's how beautiful and calm it was. Now, these are very skittish creatures. Absolutely. But it was just stunning. And I got the heritage tomatoes. I got a few weeks back. Finally got them into pots, and I got some apple trees going, and I'm repotting, green onions. Cut the roots off and repot them and let them regenerate. Right. Cool. So we're trying to get lots of neat stuff done. Yeah,
sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
And when you're in your neutral zone, animals just flock. You can hear them. You can commune with them. I've known this since I've never lost this bit. They're my teachers. Animals are always my wisest teachers.
Yeah, well, I mean, a good example around here is the birds. And, in the morning I'll come out and I just throw bread or crackers or something out for them, whatever I have. And, it's a party. Everybody shows up. We got the, Baltimore Orioles, we got, Blue Jays, sparrows, finches, grackles, you name it, they all show up, robins, everybody.
Yeah, I've got Australian parakeets here in the middle of the Netherlands.
Nice.
They're in the wild now. They've escaped from the zoo or something, or some kind of myth, but I've got a family of 5 here all the time.
Nice.
I feed them peanuts, yeah. They're my Aussie friends. They've come over.
Excellent. You're from Oz originally, right?
Yeah, I was born there. I lived there till about 10, 11 years, and my parents decided to move to Europe. I moved around a bit, did a bit of UK, Scotland. That's where I found our family roots, back to Wales, to the Llewellyns. So I really get your Celtic love.
Oh, isn't it great?
Yeah.
There's one of the most neglected histories in the UK. You touch on Scottish, Irish, and English, but you don't ever talk about the Welsh.
Exactly.
And I always thought that was kind of interesting, so...
And I love the Welsh,
Oh, yeah. My geography teacher, I'll never forget him, Mr. Powell.
Yeah.
All of about 5'4", stocky little guy, right? And I remember he was a new teacher, I think third year I was there. New teacher coming in, and I'll never forget the first day when we're up in his class. And... just this little man. He was stocky, but he just solid. But 5'4", 5'5" tops, Welsh. And we'd never met him before, so we're walking in, and about half of us got into the classroom, and he's looking at the other guys. They're taking their time coming in, and he looks over and goes, "Okay, lads, take your seats." And this monster deep voice, I don't know where it came from. And I'm thinking, oh, you are bass in a Welsh choir, because I got to tell you, nothing sounds more glorious than a male Welsh choir.
Absolutely.
Like, it's because of the roots. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. And I go back to I'm going to have to look this up now. Go back to the movie Zulu. Of course, it was Welsh regiments. It was engineers and it was 2 regiments represented at Rorke's Rift. And I will say this, because I always thought it was very poignant. You know, here you had, I think it was 138 guys defending against over 5,000 Zulu warriors at a hospital, basically an encampment, a hospital with engineers. The regiments were engineers, and they weren't real frontline militaries. They were trained for it, but they weren't what you would deem crack troops. And in that 2 days of battle, the most Victoria Crosses that were ever handed out for any single engagement was that. And there was 11. That's why I'm bringing it up. It was 11 Victoria Crosses handed out. So for me, 11 always represents spirit. That's why when I see 11 everywhere, El, Eve, Mine, divine feminine creation, power of spirit.
Yeah.
That's why Gemini is the two uprights.
Well, I'm Scorpio and Gemini rising, so there's the 11 and the 11 again.
You got it.
Yeah.
And that probably pops up in your Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs fairly often.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just like the whole sacred feminine. I've always loved Bastet and Anubis, and they were saying, "You've got the 2 scariest characters out of the whole lot." And you said, "You want to bet?"
Awesome.
These are the wisest, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you actually planning on you of all people, I would recommend getting a hold of the Arthurian Tarot, and there's a book that you can get along with it. Let me grab it for you.
Oh, it's already ordered. I've already ordered it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I googled the whole lot. I thought, oh my god, why haven't I already got this?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got. I had 2 decks. I gave one of the decks away to friends. I had it for years. I never opened it, and it's kind of funny the people I gave it to. I'll figure out why one day, but yeah, my Keeper of Words book is pretty beat up now. It's been through the mill. I've had it for 14, 15 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've. By the way, the 2 cards. I was talking to Ninja this morning. Last 3 days, I've drawn. I always do a card split, and when I do that, it's the card that comes up is what I refer to as a significator, and then the other card that I can't see, I turn over in the split, and that's the balance, right? That's the mirror. And for 3 days, last 3 days, I've done this, and I shuffle the deck really good, always. And I always stop when it feels that I need to stop. I don't count or anything. I just okay, that's it. Anyway, so I cracked the deck 3 days ago, or 2 days ago, because today's the 3rd day, and I'm just gonna find it as soon as I see it. It's in the swords, I know that. It was the other one that was really getting me mesmerized. I gotta find Guinevere at the stake. It's one of the 7 of Swords, which is a sword in the stone. Right, so this was 3 days ago. Might as well just share this with you guys, just so you kind of get a gist of my now moments. Because my tarot is, I have eyes to see, ears to hear. Show me what it is I need to see and hear. And I'm talking to the universe because I'm talking to me. Right? So I cracked them open, and the significant or significator that comes up that I split to was 7 of Swords, and here it is. This is 2 days ago. Inspiration, enthusiasm, new direction and purpose. The beginning of a new enterprise. Recent events bring the promise of brighter days to come. The instilling of hope, faith, and strength. Sensing one is on the destined path. The renewal of spirit and ambition, following what seems to be good omens, pointing the way. There's our signs, looking, right? I'm looking at a truck outside right now, Froggy Freight, and on the side of it says, "Would be happy to serve you." So I took, Hoppy, frog, it's Froggy Freight, it's the name of the company. It's a cute van. But I'm looking at it, and
it's a prince.
What's that? Yeah,
it's a frog, it's a prince.
Thank you. I was where's the allegory there? And you got it. Thank you. See? That's why I love talking to people. See, Kate doesn't know everything. Kate's still trying, still learning, right? Rescue. I'm there too. So here's the card that for 3 days in a row has flipped over, has been connected to the card that I turn over, right? And you know I shuffle a deck because 3 different cards, but the same one keeps attaching itself to the card I'm looking at. So here it is, the 8 of Shields. Wayland. Now the meaning is, the actual description and reason of the card is more important, but here's what the meaning is. Employment, commissions, craftsmanship, the positive, productive use of one's skills, focusing one's energy on work, employment that brings self-satisfaction, intense labor, a creative endeavor, learning a new skill or trade, and having a modest attitude toward accomplishments, enjoying work and the reward it brings. Here's Wayland. And this one came up 2 days ago, yesterday, and today. Deep within the earth, Wayland practices his craft. The Saxon smith Wayland is the Norse smith Völundr, who became incorporated into the mythology of Britain. Wayland was the master craftsman to the gods, whose weapons were so fine that they sang in the air. Excalibur is sometimes said to have been forged by Wayland. The coveted work of this god of smiths led King Nidud to abduct him. Nidud hamstrung the smith to prevent his escape, and then forced his lame prisoner to work. The art of the smith and magician were thought to be closely related, and it was by magic that the smith eventually escaped the clutches of Nidud, after which he sought a terrible revenge upon the king's family. Over time, Wayland has come to be associated with many of Britain's ancient sites and appears in Geoffrey of Monmouth's The Life of Merlin. The spirit of Wayland is said to haunt a Neolithic burial chamber known as Wayland's Smithy in Oxfordshire. Tradition maintains that if one were to leave a horse and coin at the chamber overnight, on returning in the morning, one would find the coin gone and the horse shod. So I thought that might resonate with you, Bindi. This is why I'm doing this. I'm just following the now moment.
Oh, I'm getting it, yeah.
All right, so here was a significator yesterday. I always love when this card comes up. It's just like, whoa, right on. Anyway, card number 21, the universe. Ruled by Saturn, ruled by time. We have to master time to take it back, so here we go. The meaning of the universe card. Liberation, the attainment of a long-sought goal, the culmination of events, efforts, and experiences from the past, completing a task with honors, triumph and prosperity, winning the admiration of others, attainment bringing change that still retains stability, security and assurance. Synthesis brings a sense of peace and wholeness, may refer to travel, a new home, or graduation. The ability to direct one's life, confidence, success, and lasting happiness. So there you go. And that was yesterday. And the card today is the Badger. And of course Wayland with that card yesterday, and Wayland with the Badger, Page of Shields today. Gotta love the Badger. This is one of my favorite cards, by the way. Meaning, a tenacious, reliable person, one who resists any distractions when in pursuit of a goal. A serious scholar with great self-discipline, a hunger for knowledge, a dedicated student, one who exhibits a keen business sense, an honorable, courageous person who does his or her best to help others, a messenger bringing good news. In folklore, the badger has come to symbolize strength and courage, the two qualities that have earned the animal much respect. The badger retains its early formidable reputation. The badger retains its early formidable reputation in more recent works such as Kenneth Graham's The Wind in the Willows. Here the badger is the established authority and the respected resident of the wild wood, whom the other creatures depend upon for guidance, strength, and protection. To encounter a badger before battle would be considered a favorable omen, portending bravery and endurance. The badger represents resisting panic, surmounting one's fears, and guarding that which one holds dear. So whenever this card comes up for me, that's exactly how I see it. It is my reminder. Hold the line. Just hold the light. It's all good.
Absolutely. You know what animal's on front of my sword fighting shield?
What's that?
A badger.
I was just being sarcastic. I knew what it was, but hey, I've got to play the consummate hostess once in a while. Kind of play the game. It's like I'm in this role. Look, I'm an acting radio DJ and everything on planet Earth, and in this physical illusion, and we're all sitting around having a hell of a good time. At least I am.
Yeah. My nickname on the field used to be Boudica's Badger.
just a coincidence. Everyone look away.
Yeah.
I believe Alex Jones is on air somewhere.
No red herrings here. Nothing to see. Go fish.
You are going to love that deck, hon. You really
I want it.
Yeah. It's
it's
card.
really coming.
The allegories of it.
I found someone who sold it second hand on some kind of a selling, so I never buy anything new if I can't help it. I try to recycle shit. And the first time you mentioned it, I googled it. I went nuts. So yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
If you do get another deck of cards,
Mm-hmm.
if you get a deck of cards that has been used already,
yep.
What I would recommend is clear the energy of them, and
sure. Yeah.
You know how to just it's all intention to do that. Typically, what I'll do every so often, like my cards, because of what happened with the house and stuff, I didn't have them for many months, and when I finally found them again and buried in a box somewhere, it was a great relief. It's like, there they are. Okay. I put them under my pillow and slept on them, just to get the energy back. Because that's the thing that people don't understand with the physical universe. It is all energy, and the intentions that we put out get trapped in these things.
Sure, it's a bit like if you want to remagnetize a piece of metal, or your screwdrivers, so that the screws stick. You just get a existing magnet and rub it. Well, it's basically what you do with your body too if you're sleeping on it.
Yeah.
It's you're recalibrating all the what's it to oscillate to your frequency.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's about bringing it into your vibration. And it's like I'll be blunt. When anybody just goes and grabs my cards, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I hand them to you, it's different. But you pick them up. I get a little out of joint about it. Especially if you smack them 3 times on the corner of a table. It's like, do you mind?
Stop hitting me.
Well, and I felt it. That's the thing is when and you guys out there, you can think whatever you want, but until you experience this for yourself, you won't know. Because when you start understanding how the universe works, and that, of course the church says, tarot, evil, zodiac, evil. Of course, they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you going anywhere near anything that can show you that. And what the tarot is for me and it's become much clearer now than it ever was before. Had the resonance of this, but I never had it fully. But what these cards are for me now are the present. I can command these cards. I'm not a defect to them anymore. I will tell them, show me the way. And they will answer, because that's being in the now. My now, not the one that you think of here. Everything here that you're looking at is past. Right? This is the light that hits you is old. Whether it's a millionth of a second or a million light years from a perceived star, whether it's real or not, it's irrelevant.
Same difference, it's just not now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the only time you can get now is when, Bindi?
Here.
Well, and what do you have to do? Physically, you have to do this.
Oh, neutral. Go into the null zone. Go in void in.
Yeah. Shut up, shut your eyes, and get deep.
Drink your pee and shut up. Yeah.
Bingo. That's perfect. Do you have any more information on what you were talking about with that around the heart and the we? I haven't heard this before. This is it makes total. And as soon as you said it, it's like, of course.
Yeah, and it's a combo of the thymus gland and the heart sac. We learned that the heart is an organ that pumps, but it implodes, like you've already been speaking about, and it does that because it's got a sac around it. It's a very thin little heart sac, and it's filled with it's basically amniotic fluid. I think it's around there. So that's where the link to pee is, and the healthier that fluid is, the better the secretion of the hormones from the thymus gland and the regeneration of it, because we learned that it shrivels by the time you've passed puberty, because you don't need the growth hormones anymore. But they're those hormones that now in science everybody's trying to get their hands on to reverse time or aging. So it's built in.
Here's a question for you. This is what popped in my head. This was what you were saying, the growth hormone and what have you. Now, it would make sense that of course, if children were taught from an early age to ingest their living life essence, that would never, ever shrivel up, right?
Exactly.
Eternal youth, right?
Yeah.
So,
just like finial, there's no, it's shriveled, but at the same time, if you regenerate it with your intent, the shriveling is undone.
Exactly. But
same with the thymus, it's not, it doesn't turn into fat unless you let it.
Yeah, and it keeps your heart perfectly imploding.
Yep.
The thing
it's
that
chakra basically too. It's even if it did turn to fat, doesn't matter. The chakra there is already in action. We've gone for 7 to 13, so
yeah, but wouldn't that explain? This is where I was going with this. Wouldn't that explain the giants in our past?
Sure. Sure.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You know, and we're going back to ancient Egypt. Of course, they have their statues to their very tall gods, and the only thing that these gods knew was, don't tell them to drink their wee. Make sure they don't drink their wee, and we'll be bigger and we'll look like gods to them. There's your pharaohs again, right? Always goes back to the same asshole. I think we just triggered on another couple of really cool ones there, kiddo. Well done.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? That's far more than interesting. I'm going to get my little shout out done now so I don't have to be worried about it with 2 or 3 minutes to go. We got 15 minutes left on the air right now, so you guys are going nuts in the chat room. I can't keep up with it anymore. It's beautiful. Yes, indeed, Ninja. Welsh male voice choir is glorious to hear. It certainly is. The heart sac is the pericardium. It's Pericardium. Of course, dium, meaning day or God, right? Right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going through a couple of little texts here, but first off, I just want to do a shout out for criticalmassradio.co.uk. Paul Giovanni, Lisa, and the crew at Critical Mass, thank you guys so much. I am going to do, just to give you guys a basic rundown, in order for Critical Mass Radio to effectively, and it's both platforms, the main one and this one. Paul's got 2 platforms running here. The number I've heard is 300 British pounds per month, which is not a lot collectively. For an individual, that is a sizable output. So that basically is the monthly target. So I'm going to put that out there. Just so now I want to make it real for people to understand what it is. So typically, to keep both stations, and I wasn't far off the mark, I knew just the sign-ups were dealing about between $2,500 and $3,000, right? Just for that. Never mind anything of add-ons. And I know Paul's running the CMR station full-time, so that's probably about 3 times what this platform is, because we're only running the 2 hours per day platform. And I know that one's about $1,400 a year. So just this is for CMR. It's not for me. Okay, I'll worry about me when I need to. Right? I got cans of beans in the cupboard. I'm good. I got a place to put my head. What I want to make sure of is I've got a platform to speak from and share with you guys at this table. So if you can't help out with donations, get your intent there. Start changing the script for us, and get the word out to your friends. Get them to the table. If they like what they're doing, and if they can help, then great. That's how we do this together. You know. So there it is. I'm going to do the shout out. Critical Mass Radio needs to maintain itself, just to keep it on the air. And it's not much. 300 pounds per month. It's not like we're asking for $10,000 or $15,000 a month production values and making sure we got a studio and all. No. We'll leave that for the AJs of the world. Okay. Not interested. We're just interested in keeping the platform going. So there's what we have every month. So if there's something that you guys can do, great. There's always something you can do, whether it's donating or not. Right? So the focus isn't on about donating here. It's about getting the intention, because if you can't put the intention out, where part of our consciousness can. And that's it. Golden. Okay, so there you go. Another little note here from Kishi. It's also known as a spiritual heart. Pericardium. Interesting. I'm going to have to do a little breakdown on that one. Yeah, the Ka, C-A is also Ka, spirit, right? Sound it out. And of course there's Ra in the mirror. D-I meaning duo or split, and also divine. That's why you have the divide or the divine. That's why when I talk about divide and conquer, I also reference it as divine dead and con cursed. Okay? With curse. Divine dead and with curse. And the curse is the physical. Right? In as much as it's such a great place to be, we got trapped in the game. So we're trying to... Alright, there's a new one. I haven't seen that one before, Michael. Sorry, Michael just put up a cat. I've never seen a cat in the Skype before. Michael's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening.
In the Arthurian deck, is Merlin mentioned as a wizard or a bard?
Here, well, I'll tell you. That's card number 3, I believe. No, I think it's 2. 1. He's 1. Never mind. Yeah, right. I was going through it. 0 is a fool. 1's Merlin.
Right.
And of course, do you want to see a dot connect? Check this shit out. Who's the fool? Who is the fool in the Arthurian deck?
Oh,
Percival.
Hang on a minute.
Percival. But
Percival.
Yeah, but I.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
As soon as I looked at it, it's Pericardium. Percival, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, ruled by Uranus, no less. Oh, there's heaven again. Ruled by heaven, and of course the magician, ruled by Mercury, Merlin.
Right.
Here's a description of it. Merlin retreats to the isolation of his mountain cave. Surrounded by nature, he is able to center himself and connect with the forces that work through him. This solitary existence allows him to hear the words of the winds and learn of things yet to come. Merlin is the guardian of the sacred spring which flows in the foreground, representing the wise and honorable use of precious resources. A wolf was said to have kept company with Merlin. This familiar symbolizes a magician's sensitivity to the forces of the wild. His powers come from understanding their nature rather than from their domination. It is a relationship not to fear, but of mutual respect. Foxgloves grow alongside the stream. This is describing the card. Having long been associated with the fairy, they are a reminder that Merlin neither dwells nor works alone. He is surrounded, inspired, and assisted by the unseen spirits of the wood, the dryads. The plant itself is extremely poisonous, a bringer of death, and yet when refined it is a powerful cardiac medicine, a giver of life. This illustrates the crucial preparation, training, and knowledge needed if one is to advise or lead others. It also serves as a warning against overconfidence, as there are always dangers present when engaging powers of dual nature. Merlin's rich blue cloak represents his honored standing in the world of men, while the feathers are a symbol of the shaman's spiritual flight and metamorphosis.
Wow. There's the blue again.
Yep. The meaning of the card is skill and wisdom, the noble use of one's talents, a state of harmony with one's environment, possession of the power of influence, a wise counselor, sensitivity to unseen powers, independent thought, awareness of one's role in the community, showmanship and originality win respect and inspire others to follow, the self-confidence needed to take risks and direct one's life, the strength of will and self-discipline needed to complete a task or training, diplomacy in business transactions that brings positive results, grace under pressure.
Beautiful. Yeah, now I understand why Merlin is also referred to as a bard. He speaks for the wind, he speaks for the wood, the woodlands, the spirits, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and a card that came up the other day. This is for you, Kishi, because I brought this. She asked to pull a card, and I haven't had a chance to tell her. But I pulled card number 5, ruled by Taurus, the Hierophant. Talisman, right?
Talisman, yes.
A person with experience he or she is willing to share. An authority, a kind and generous mentor who nurtures a spiritual awareness. A medium to a higher plane, advocate of tradition, blessings, education, religious ceremony, initiation, drawing comfort and security from one's roots, laying a foundation for a belief system, encouragement to explore the framework of a religion or doctrine, feeling constricted by the attitudes of society as a whole, pressure to live up to the expectations of others, and the traditional interpretation of the card as orthodox behavior, conforming to a system or organization. So, if you look beyond what these words actually, trigger, it is about centering, right? So here's a description of and the symbolism of the card as it's presented. Taliesin introduces the children to his lady, the harp. Orpheus charmed his way to the underworld and back by way of his music. Oh, it's just Orpheus, sorry, just clicked, right? Matrix. Anyway, music is a passage to the other world, and this is why the harp has been substituted for the keys traditionally found in the hand of the Hierophant. Taliesin encourages questions from the royal and less privileged children alike. He fosters the creative artistic talents and passes on the age-old lore, providing the children with a foundation for their own flights of fancy. By investing in the children's imagination and awakening their talents, the stories of the past will live on, and the connection with the other world and its guides will continue. This is Taliesin's charge as custodian of the ancient lore. The feathers in his hair and the necklace strung with tokens of his incarnations attest to his renowned shape-shifting abilities. The bard embodies all the knowledge of these animal lives. Like Merlin, Taliesin has a close connection with the old ones. The stream and the stone figures of the old gods reflect this bond. It is through his connection with the otherworldly, particularly the cauldron of Serdwen, that he acquires his inspiration and profound knowledge. The jewelry he wears speaks of the affection and respect he is granted. His patron rewards him well for his services. The political power of this famed Welsh bard could not be underestimated. Through his craft he could bestow a king with an honored place in history, or destroy him with a scorching satire. Such is the power of the artist, indeed.
Wow.
Neat, eh?
Nah.
Yeah.
What was the real name of Merlin but Taliesin?
There you go. They're one and the same.
Yes. The bard with the harp, I think, yes.
Yeah, and there's that duality, and of course they're connected to the other world.
Mm-hmm.
And Lady Harp, so you brought in the divine feminine there as well. And of course, in terms of the hearts of Gaia, what is the ancient symbol for the heart of Gaia? Well, the harp, Ireland.
Right.
Divine feminine.
I maybe thought the four-leaf clover, but there you go.
Well, if you look at, Ireland, it's got the harp, right?
Sure, yeah. And the four-leaf clover.
Well, yeah. That to me was something that was brought over later, a little distraction. Yeah.
It's more an agricultural thing.
Yeah.
To get nitrate into the soil, you need clover, right?
Exactly. Now, lots of potatoes. By the way, a lot of people think, potatoes are indigenous to Ireland. They're not. They're actually a New World tuber. They were brought. They were brought over from North America. They didn't exist in Europe. Just a little more trivia. I had to pull out the tricky little bastard once in a while to say, hey, look what this thing knows. Handy little bastard.
Yeah.
We're down about...
Trivial Pursuit.
What's that?
He's good for Trivial Pursuit. I like He'll be handy.
And I do have one claim to fame with Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah.
I've never been beat. Everyone wanted me on their team.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why.
Don't know. Yeah, Welcome Encyclopedia with clippers. Yep.
Well, it's just memory. It's just having access to the main drive.
Exactly.
Not just the RAM, right?
No, the ROM.
That's the ROM, baby. Exactly.
Yeah. The jackpot. You don't have to remember if you've got the ROM on your side.
Mm-hmm.
It feeds it to you when you need it.
Oh, wait a minute, Zanya. I have God on my side.
The same thing. And Zionia.
Yeah, I know. Zion, yeah. I know.
Yeah. Rah. Zionia.
I love it. Oh, and I'm waiting for Ninja to have a jump in here. We got just over a minute and a half before we roll into the recording part. So if you guys want to get in, refresh your page, hit Skype, call in. It'll bring you right to the board, and you can listen in on the recorded part. Or you can call in via landline, area code 661-467-2401. You know, every so often I actually sound like I'm supposed to be on radio. Yeah, welcome Thursday night. It's late tonight. No, thanks. Can't do that. Yeah, Ninja, if you feel like chatting, just unmute yourself and come on board. It's great, Bindi. This is awesome. I love chatting with you. This is exactly what we need to do, guys. Listen to Bindi. Take the example. Bring your downloads to the show. We need to hear them. We need to know what's going on with the rest of our consciousness. You know?
It's like...
Yeah, isn't that a fun sound?
Till what?
Well, until we roll into the recording.
Oh, right. Oh.
Right? So
boring.
Yeah, try to be in what do you call it? Mid-sentence when that hits you. You've heard it's hit me many times. Well, 60s. What the? Shut up. You know, throws you for a fucking loop. But anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. What else? Oh, this morning or this afternoon show, I covered essays 1 and 2 as well, because I hadn't had a chance to share any of it on the main page. So there's still 3, but I'm going to have other essays. I already told everyone where they can get stuff. cateofgaia.wordpress.com. Anything you need from me, it's going to be there. cateofgaia.wordpress.com. See what I mean? Oh yeah, 10 seconds. I'm waiting for it. Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah.
Boom. You know.
The roof.
Yeah, we have T-5, 4.
And camera.
Yeah. Boosters ignited. Main engine for go. Light her up, baby.
Yeah, serious or us.
Yeah, you triggered a lot of different things when you were talking, especially with Chiron and he's the boatman for the Styx and pulling the dead souls from the river, right?
Yep.
And of course, it was 1999 when it came in, was it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Because I think Pluto was 1978.
Yep, Pluto's my favorite.
Yeah.
Together with Chiron, they're my planets.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and they should be your favorites.
Yeah.
That and that's the thing too. When people talk about destruction or Pluto, they think destruction, the destroyer.
Oh no.
Not at all. It's
a transformer.
Transformer.
Transmuter even.
Yeah, it's a transitional phase that we go through, in as much as taking. I loved Joe's description the other day. And she was talking about a big lump of clay and her daughter can find the horse contained within it. That's what Pluto does.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. I'll post my painting of Pluto soon.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. And I've Chiron, or Chiron, as I would pronounce, it told me to pronounce it, is not just the Greek version, but it's also a centaur.
Yeah.
It's the wounded healer. It's like... you had this series, Once Upon a Time, Hercules, the Legendary Journeys, and it had a lot of centaurs in them. And one was Chiron, and he actually raised Hercules and taught him the virtues of the centaurs, and got shot in the shoulder as thanks for it by Zeus. So there's where the reason why I was looking at Chiron is that I'm the wounded healer myself. I'm trying to heal those parts to unblock me to get on with the healing bit.
The healing of the maimed king.
Yes, and the maimed queen mostly, because I've already stepped into my high king. I've been sword fighting for a long time. I know how it works. The physical high king.
Yeah, I'm referring to the card in the deck, which is the 9 of Cups, consciousness of emotions.
Right.
Right. The healing of the maimed king, and here's what it is. Just want to see if this kind of flows with you. I'm doing this ping pong with you right now, so I hope you don't.
Yeah, sure. Hit me.
So the healing of the maimed king, the 9 of Cups. And of course, cups being emotions means feminine. Yeah? See what I mean? All comes together.
Yeah.
The meaning is success, accomplishment, good health, kindness and compassion, overcoming obstacles, restored peace and happiness, gratitude and goodwill, relief and joyous celebrations. A team united in vision makes success a reality. Sharing blessings with others, emotional well-being, and the dawn of dreams, great satisfaction in a task well done. And the story of the healing. They're very short. I just love sharing these. It's
beautiful.
They're so resonant, you know.
Yes.
The wasteland is renewed with the healing of its king. That's you, by the way, everybody, and that's the king and queen together, Britannia and the Fisher King. Near the end of their quest, Galahad, Percival, and Bors landed on the shores of the wasteland. There they mounted the horses that awaited them and sought out King Pelles. The people of the wasting land rejoiced at the sight of the three knights, believing their suffering to be near its end. Pelles was overjoyed to see his grandson, but was too weakened by his wound to rise from his bier. Knowing what would follow their arrival, the wounded king asked to be left alone with Galahad and his companions. All became deathly still. Then a warm, scented breeze washed over the knights. It was the breath of heaven. A brilliant light burst forth, filling the air with strains of unearthly music. The king's eyes softened. The three knights looked on in awe as a procession of graceful figures came forth from the light. First came two figures bearing two candles. The third bore a cloth of red samite. The fourth bore the sacred lance, and a dish to catch the blood that fell from its tip. Lastly came the Grail, veiled from the mortal eyes that would not bear its splendor. The company knew themselves to be in the presence of the divine. All three knights were overcome with a sense of beauty and bliss. A disembodied voice instructed Galahad to approach and drink from the Grail. As the knight lifted the veil and looked into the mystery, all his desire for earthly life drained from him. At the bidding of the voice, Galahad turned from the Grail, touched his fingers to the blood of the spear, and then placed his hand over the wound of the king. At once the flesh healed of itself. Thereupon the wasteland burst forth in bloom. The maimed king was whole and free from all pain. Once again birds sang and green leaves chattered in the winds. You were going to love this deck.
Yep.
Just reading the book is and what the cards mean, and to watch the tapestry unfold, it really gives you a full understanding of being in that preset moment when you actually, put out a single card for yourself or a spread or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And when you make them yours, they will be crazy, crazy, crazy accurate. That's the one thing I always heard from people. How'd you know that? Well, I didn't. The cards did. You're the one, right? And I tell people that too. So if you want me to do a reading for you, I don't care what you think you want to ask. The most important thing that you need to know is going to come up in these cards.
Yep.
Every time.
You will pull the sword from the stone.
Yes. Whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to go through the symbology of the healing of the main king to pull it together. Because the unearthly light that they were speaking of there is you. You are veiled from your own light. That's what the leather covering, skin, is covering the Holy Grail. Your apocalypse must be pulled off. The physical allegory has to be pulled off in order for you to find you. The light within is veiled in leather. That's what the revelation is about. You are the Holy Grail. So this whole quest that we've been on, or that would be alluded to be on, going looking like Indiana Jones, looking for the Holy Grail, it's been within you all along. The good witch Glinda told you. You just had to learn the way home. Some pretty cool shit, eh?
Damn straight.
Yeah. I gotta ask you, because I know I've listened to talk shows pretty much my whole life. It was, music. I did music, so I didn't listen to a lot of it because I was in the middle of it. Talk shows were for ideas and whatever. And even looking at stuff in the, the Awakening, or whatever your New Age bullshit name you want to put on it. I have never experienced anything like what we're doing here.
Nope.
Nothing like it.
That's why I keep coming back. I mean, it's bloody 3 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah.
I would be doing this if it wasn't worth it.
Me too.
Was it? I mean, come on. Exactly. Mirror.
And that's the joy of this, because, people will say, Kate doesn't, Kate. No, I'm you. You need to get this. You need to. This is why pedestals are useless.
This is the only table where the psychiatrists are outside instead of sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it great?
Yeah. Home, sweet home. Click, click, click.
Yeah, you are the Holy Grail. I know that. And I've said it for so long. And I know, early on people go, oh, that sounds kind of altruistic and trite and all the rest of it. This is why...
It could even sound damn right arrogant. I don't care.
Oh, absolutely.
True.
With me, it's about... When I started saying this, I meant this because I had seen the glimpse. I had caught sight of this, of how absolutely stunningly, incredibly brilliant, divinely beautiful, in perfection that you, the tuned in ones, are. And this might explain why I go after egos so quickly, so thoroughly, and so lovingly. Because I want to get the shit off the window. I know where you are, and I want you to see you as I can see you. Because here's the truth, and the teacher said it before, and I'm going to say it as well. Not that I'm teaching anything. I'm just learning too. And you can do greater things than I. And all we got to do is say that to each other, and look at our exponential go. There's no credit to be claimed. There's no need. That's a physical illusion. People that cling for fame and all the rest of this crap are lost. That's why I shunned it. I didn't want it. I was cursed with an ability to do something that I loved doing, but I didn't ever do it because I felt I, wanted to for any particular reason other than it's a great feeling. I didn't have to do it because, I had full-time work that would support my very expensive musical habits. I didn't need to do it because I could do it. It didn't matter. The only thing that was left for me was I did it because I could. And for no other reason. It didn't matter what came attached to it. And boy, I tell you, there's some crazy awesome shit came attached to it, and some crazy scary shit was attached to it too. I had my share of stalkers. Okay? I had to change my phone number a few times. Because even then, I was, my website, there's my cell number, and people would call me. And I get some pretty creepy calls sometimes. But I've never closed the door. I've put my cell phone out in the air many times. 226-971-9675. Just be mindful I only have 300 minutes a month. But I'm here. And the point is, if it's needed, it's there. Right? And I've had some people abuse it. And, of course I've had some pretty wild, not wild in craziness, but, getting texted at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Just a mental note, I'm in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Okay? It's GMT minus 5. All right? Or UTC minus 5. Universal Time Code. What's that all about? There's that code thing again. Barcodes. Bible code. Well, we've cracked, pretty much all of it now. Now it's just a matter of working out the details. And more of us are getting these details, and we're sharing them. There's nothing I love more when people did you get a chance to read the allegory breakdown of that matador getting the horn through the bottom of the chin up through his mouth? Did you get to read that?
Yep. Yeah.
How bang on was Patty Woods on that?
Yeah, she went wild on it.
I was sitting there with my proverbial jaw smacking the top of my computer here, going, "There's someone that knows how to read allegories. Yeah. There's someone that gets it."
Yeah. Later on, we were wondering, did the horn go through his third eye or just punch through his cheek?
I just it's amazing, when people, and I've had many. Stephen from BC sent me a link to the quantum computers, the qubit, 512 qubit quantum computer that Google's apparently going to be getting. Now you can get caught up in the physical. Oh my God! Oh, they're going to control everything. Or you can look at it for what it is. It's an allegory. This is the mimic of our spiritual essence returning to the multidimensional way.
Yep.
Right?
Practice again.
Oh, and I'll tell you what really, really caught my eye when I opened the article up. Ninja, if you can, share it in the Love and Stuff room, or I can do that after the show, no problem. But the first thing that struck me was, right at the top of it says Skynet Rising, and the other description. But as soon as I looked at Skynet, the Y and the K had reversed themselves in my mind. Sicknet Rising.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it all clicked. I thought, that's when the awakening occurred, back when the Cygnus Rising name came into play, and I just watched this creation. I finally saw what has been created then appearing now. So the universe is moving pretty quick. It's moving real quick. And this is what I'm talking about, getting into your preset.
Yeah. It's like Kate Bush says in one of her songs, the time of the turning, better learn to say your goodbyes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's what this is all about. Letting go.
Yeah.
Letting go.
None of it matters. It's all matter, but it doesn't matter.
Right. It has to be equal and opposite, right? And thanks, Ninja. Got your message there. Thanks, hon. No worries. Where are we here? Yep. Let's get the flow going for CMR. Is a great idea. Yeah, this is just we're taking it to the new level. And look at that C, the open O of creation, which is unconditional love, the note of love. That's why it's the C is the note. That's why it was all about controlling the C, the law of the high C's, the high love. That's why they wanted to mimic and control that essence of ourself in a physical sense, right? And when I say they, it's still us, okay? There's no division here. This is a game that has duality so that we can experience contrast. And when we start seeing the contrast and seeing the allegories for what they really are, now we have to turn that mirror around. We need to look into our own mirror from a different perspective. We need to stand way back and look at our own life, our own experience as what is our allegory. What are we trying to display in our role to the rest of consciousness? That's how critically important every piece of this puzzle is, including the sleepy ones. Well, we got to make it a bit entertaining, right? Come on.
Sure.
It'd be kind of boring otherwise, so,
Well, you've got to hand them an applause. They're just playing the part that we didn't want to. The sleepy, shitty part.
Right on. Oh, and looks like Blu-ray came in as well. Love to hear from you, Blu-ray, if you can. That would be great. By the way, Blu-ray was the connection with Tobias Lars. And I got to tell you, that was probably was the most fun interview, or I wouldn't call it show. It was more like a phone call. Like I had, Tobias, I haven't talked to you in months. How are you? That was the first time I ever talked to him, and it felt like an old friend. It felt like someone that I'd known for generations. Just come in, oh hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? And just sitting at the table and shooting the shit. That's what it felt like. Sweet rapport. Yeah. So, and there's another one too. Look at the name, Kate Bush. When I see Bush, I see 13 in the capital B. I see the divine masculine in the U, the divine feminine in the S, right? And of course the Trinity with the H, right? That's why they have the little H with the cross on it symbol. You'll see that sometimes for Christians and stuff. They don't know what it's for. But of course then you have Kate, which is Ka-Ti, which is spirit of love. Something else you mentioned about when we're talking about Chiron or Chiron, resonant for me is Karen, which is a root of Catherine, which means purity, right? There's a lot of names come out of Catherine, a lot of names, for a reason, right? And it was just a coincidence that my parents named me via my initials, W, Katie, right? So that's just a fluke. Yeah. I've only ever had one coincidence in my life. Yeah.
Well, my mum gave me a brilliant gem the other day. She said, well, do you remember you telling me what to name you? I said, no. So 2 months before you were born, you told me what your name was.
Uh-huh. There you go.
Yeah, she had a whole line of them, and I just wiped them all off. Nope, Bindi.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to see if I can coax Blu-ray in here.
Yeah, because Blu-ray is part of this whole download. Somehow.
Yeah, I know. So,
yeah.
Blu-ray, I'm going to open up your mic. You can decide to speak or not, but I'm going to open it up so that you can jump in at will. And I see Colleen there, so don't be shy, Colleen. And Holly, of course. Don't anybody be shy. Please, I need you at this table so badly.
Oh, Colleen, Holly, all Welsh names. That's good.
Oh, yeah, just a little. And it's just a fluke that in Ireland the girls are called Colleens, right?
Yeah.
And the natural hair color, everyone's is red. A lot of times when you see the Irish Colleens, you'll see these very Spanish-looking, black hair and the green Irish beautiful gowns and stuff. But the actual color, hair color from Ireland is red.
Mm.
Pretty cool. Blu-ray, are you going to jump in here?
Hey, Kate. Hey, Bindi.
There you are.
Hey there.
How y'all doing?
Oh, great. And great to hear your voice.
Yep. Yeah, I lack your gift of words, so I'm kind of shy, so...
Oh, that's okay. Me too. You meet me one-on-one, you'll see the other side of me.
Yep, same here. I had to grow a pair to do this.
And I actually had to get rid of... Never mind.
You can say that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, here, tell you what. I was going to get them bronzed and with a little certificate of authenticity guaranteed to make a judge bow and put them up on eBay.
Well, we pretty much grew a pair of wings, actually, didn't we?
Yeah, I got my wings last June 27th.
Right.
Yeah, I got my dragonfly on my shoulder. That was me reattaching, allegorically, my wings. And I found out something really neat of how to find my center point. Not sure if it works for anybody else, but when I'm meditating, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put just slight pressure on my eyes to take my eyes out of their normal focus position in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take much, and you don't want to push too hard because it can get pretty painful. But what happens?
That's the technique, yeah. You see fractals, you start to see them literally. Yeah,
they appear because you've taken your design and moved it, right?
Yeah, the outer light's offline.
Yeah, and that's how I know I'm a dragonfly, and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. These beautiful wings and gold and just this brilliant light, and it's right in the center of this burning sun. That's me, a little dragonfly, and here I am as I was thinking about it. It was this morning, or this afternoon rather, get out of the shower, and I was drying my eyes with a towel, and of course it got really dark with the towel. I said, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna take 10 seconds here, and I'm in zone time." So I put a little pressure on the eyes. Next thing you know, there's all these beautiful fractals, and then there I was, and I thought, there I am, cool. That was the first time I really got a good look at it. I've seen it before. It's always there every time. This one beautiful center point. But now it is so much clearer to see it. And it was just like this beautiful little fairy dragonfly. It was gorgeous. And then I come out of the bathroom, go downstairs, and look out the window. House 21 across the street. 21, just a coincidence. And of course, there's a dragonfly on the wall. And there's this beautiful dragonfly in the garden, and it's nuts. Stop! This is too fun,
Screw the 3D movies. I'll just close my eyes and rub them.
That's it.
Yeah.
And everybody listening, try it out.
Yep. Especially when your hands are a bit wet or full of wee, it's even better.
Yep.
Rub it in. Soak your eyes with wee and do it. That's absolutely brilliant.
Well, that's the last thing I do with my hair and face is wee, and you don't need a lot either. This is the thing.
No.
And just rub it into your. Oh, it smells great too. Your hair smells delicious.
Yeah, it's the best gel whatever. I've been doing it now for 3 months. I'm over the grease phase, and my hair's back to like when I was 20. Curly, thick, red, fab.
Isn't that cool? Well, that makes total sense that your hair is red because that's your Irish heritage. Because I talked last night about, my old band was called Athenry. And there's a song, you can look it up. It's a beautiful song. We did a really cool version of it. It had a bit more meat to it. Fields of Athenry. That's where I named the band from. And as it turns out, Athenry was where they, or before they, this guy was in the song was reminiscing about the fields of Athenry where he lived, and he was getting shipped off to Botany Bay, Australia, for the crime of stealing some bread for his family, for his child. Boy, you gotta love that British Empire, eh? You stole some bread? Well, we're gonna give you a life sentence away from your family so you never see him again. But well, yeah, but there's another allegory of needing
prisoners of Her Majesty's Empire.
Yeah, of shredding the physical illusion. Sometimes it's willful and sometimes not so willful, right? I guess I was a bit more stubborn than the universe liked, and it required a 300-pound boot in my throat to get me to figure that one out. It's all good. It's all good.
Yep.
I have nothing but gratitude. Thank you for dispossessing me of that which was possessing me. Possession.
Yes. Thank you for lodging that boot up my ass. Yes.
Exactly. And I even got a full lunar cycle to think about it.
Wow.
All by myself in solitary.
A loony cycle. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And of course, 7 trips to the judge, and I never yielded. And they still screwed up. It was beautiful. These guys have never got anything right. It's too funny.
Still didn't see the monkey, did they?
No. You guys don't get it. One of your highest priests bowed to me. What are you not getting here? You think I'm just because you got me in chains, I'm going to bow? Or not a chance. I'm just going to stand here and chainsaw your sorry asses, and I did.
Yeah.
Take any shit from any one of them.
I remember when I was at school, just moved to the Netherlands, and they thought, well, the Queen was visiting our school because they had a new wing put on it, and it was named after her, and they thought it was cute to get the Aussie girl to give her flowers, and they said, but you have to call her Her Highness. I said, only if she does that to me too. I guess you got to give her the flowers. Not me.
I was going to say, it wasn't you.
Nah. I'd rather talk to Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blu-ray, what's going on in your world, my friend?
I'm just sitting here in Sedona, waiting for Tobias to get back from his ayahuasca retreat in Mexico.
Right on.
But,
Awesome.
Taking care of the dogs and living life, and that's about it.
Perfect.
Oh, Tobias is going to come back with a fully functional thymus gland. Ooh, lucky him.
There you go. And you can do that yourself without retreating anywhere but inside yourself.
Yep.
Drink your wee, retreat, get silent, get deep, get dark.
Yep.
And put a little pressure in your eyes. Have a look at you. You're stunning. Promise.
I see a bee when I do it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Very
That's
cool.
hence the bee, bird, bee, bindi, bee. Being. Bee.
Yeah, being, yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised when I saw the dragonfly this morning. At all.
No.
As soon as I looked at it, oh my god, it's dragonfly. It's beautiful. I'm beautiful. Oh my god. It's, oh, my Internet Explorer has stopped working. You guys can still hear me though, right?
Yeah.
They do not like me.
No.
And I love the fact
that... something.
Well, yeah. Damn.
Shit.
I love when that happens, hey, when that happens. It's just incredible.
Have you heard this joke? Hang on. How do you mount the steed of truth?
I think you wrote it. I didn't quite catch the joke of it, but how do you mount the steed of truth?
Yes.
How?
You rein in the nightmare.
Oh, look at that. And of course, you just triggered the Sweet Dreams and Nightmares Bill Donahue video. Great video. Great video.
Yep, that one just clicked with me too. I said, hang on, Bill just did something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bill has been walking lockstep with me as well, if anyone's been noticing. I'll talk about something, and he puts up a video, bang, there it is, right?
Yep.
and you got to remember, he did his most of his videos in the late 80s through the 90s and early 2000s. I'm sure he's got some newer ones, but typically 2005, 2006. So I didn't come across Bill until about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and I remember Santo had mentioned him, and you know what I'm like, right? Oh, somebody mentions something in the now, I go look.
Yep.
And that's what you got to do. As soon as you hear something, don't wait. Look.
Check it out.
Check it out.
If it resonates, fine. If it doesn't, chuck. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did that too with Jordan Maxwell. He didn't resonate. I just thought he was a bit bitter. And then Bill Donahue, wow.
Yeah, well, again, Jordan has...
The story's the same, but it's brought differently.
Yeah. And, Jordan's been in the game a long time, too. And he's done what he needed to do.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's a genius. I could see that. But his flavour resonates less, doesn't make him less.
No.
That's all it is.
I just look at things like that and go, thank you so much for what you've done. You gave me shoulders to stand on, and I'll take the torch from here and take it a whole lot higher.
Yep.
And then someone's going to be on my shoulders now, taking it even further. See, this is what I'm looking for: those that wish to take the torch and resonate, and we do this together, and you can do greater things than I. I'm just a tranny mouthpiece on the air.
We don't need Jacob's ladder. We can form one ourselves.
Exactly, we are Jacob's ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and mentioning Tobias, I'm looking forward to. I passed him the Raining Cats and Dogs parts 1, 2, and 3 through his Skype. So when he gets back, he'll have something if he wants to read it. But I'd love to get his thoughts on it. I'd love to actually just have I'd love to do the one-on-one on air, but I'd love to just do a one-on-one just to, what do you think? And then just bounce all this shit back and forth. It's amazing. You guys know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Soul-to-soul contact.
I'm talking in general, what we're talking about. You guys get what I'm talking about. The resonance is incredible. It's blowing me away. I don't know if I sound excited or not, but I sure as hell am.
Yeah.
This is exciting for me. I mean, I'm talking about things now, from my perspective, after spending like 4 decades in terror of me and not being able to say a whole lot because the shit I was talking about, people weren't ready to, not like there was anything greater or lesser. It's just a different perspective. My perspective, I couldn't share that. Now I can, and this is exactly where I've been and where I need to be. This is why. This is like, I don't know.
Purpose.
Well, it's purpose. It's like every day now, like waking up. It's like Christmas morning. Oh, what am I going to find today under my tree? And I go look and I go, oh my God, that's beautiful. And then I come on the air and share it. Look what we got today, everybody. And that's how I look at it. It's not what I get.
No, it's contagious. It's very contagious.
It is. Look what I found for us under the tree. Look what we got. What a gift. Let's share this. Let's have this. And then throw it on the table, and everyone gets to take a piece of it and share it and be a part of it, and then it's infinite. It's like, here's an Irish joke. You ready for this?
Come on.
This Irish guy's walking along. Paddy's walking along. Michael. I like Michael better than Patrick. Anyway, so Michael's walking along the beach. You see, right? He kicks this lamp. Picks it up. He says, "Whew, wonder what that is." So he starts to clean it up, and of course, lo and behold, out pops a genie. And Genie says, "Well, I grant you 3 wishes." And he says, "You're kidding me." He says, "No, 3 wishes. What do you want?" He says, "Well, the first thing I'd like is to have, give us £1 million, will you?" It says, "Done. There it is, £1 million." He says, "Oh, I'll tell you what. Give us Give us a pint glass of Guinness that'll never empty. Bam, so there it is. Beautiful pint of Guinness. Perfect temperature, cold, just beautiful. And to test it out, he knocks it back, and lo and behold, fills up. He goes, oh, and he does it again, knocks it back. He goes, geez, that's wonderful. So tell you what, I know Patrick would love one of these. Give us another one of those, will you? Anyway, there you go. Just a bit of a pointless joke, right?
Yeah. Loop-de-loop.
Yeah. Hey, what do you do? What do you do if an Irishman throws a hand grenade at you?
Stop.
No. Pull the pin out and throw it back. Especially if it's involving the Irish sharpshooter Rick O'Shea.
Okay.
There you go. Anyway, bad jokes. But they work. So who else we got here on the line? Colleen hasn't jumped in yet. So I'll tell you what, you know what, we got a little less than half an hour here, and did we lose Colleen? Oh no, there she is. I was sorry. I seen the board change.
I was talking away. I was talking
there you
away,
are.
And then I realized I was muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. I couldn't see your number because it was at the bottom and then it disappeared. And I go, I got to scroll up because it moved to the top. Damn. Anyway, hi, Colleen.
We got to hear your jokes.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. They were terrible.
It's been quite a day. And when you were saying that earlier about the red hair, I had wild dogs barking and chasing the cats, so I couldn't unmute at that time.
Raining cats and dogs, indeed.
That's it, and that's what has been coming all day. Is because I was on your earlier show.
I saw that. Yes.
And yes, and I got knocked off, and I got back on, but that's been coming really strong for me. Hi, Bindi.
Hey,
that's been coming really strong is the catch-22, and when you really get truths, and then what do you do with it? And if you don't really live in that truth, then you get smacked upside the head quite often.
It's the curse or the blessing. You choose.
Yes. And also how beautiful to see that the good is in if you want to call it the evil, and evil is in the good. And I've been experiencing this lately where, it just seems like everything is going great, and then something comes in, and it's a real challenge. And then when you can stay with it and know that it's just kind of like the waves where it comes in and out, the good and the not so good.
Ebb and flow.
Ebb and flow, yes. And so when Bindi, you guys were talking about the tarots, I had this tarot deck. It's called the Templar Tarot, Mary Magdalene. And I pulled this out, and the first card that actually fell out was the King card. And then,
by the way, just to explain another allegory we hear all the time, that's when the truth jumps out at you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, look away. Don't look there.
Yeah. So the King card. And so then I pulled the deck out, and I pulled out two cards, and one was, it has a number 8 on it, and there's 8, what would you call them? Like, what do you call them? The drinking vessels.
Oh, the cups.
The cups. There's what are they called?
The cups emotions. That's the emotional part of the cards.
Okay, right. Okay, so there's 8, and the 8th one is the cups knocked over. And there's a woman walking with a walking stick up a hill, and she has the halo around her head. And then the other card was the 5 of cards, and it's an angel where she has her head down, and she's down on the ground, and there's the 5 cups. but I couldn't find the book that goes with it. Somebody borrowed these and took the book that explains the whole thing.
All right, well, the cards are going to have the same symbologies. So we're dealing with the 8 of Cups and the 5 of Cups, yes?
Okay.
All right, let me share. Let me share the cups from the Arthurian deck. They all interconnect. Okay. They all speak of the same energies, okay? So the 8 of Cups, it's like pentacles are shields are coins. Like in my book, shields are the coins.
Okay. Before you explain that, Katie, after that, I was thinking, okay, because I couldn't find the book, and I love pulling runes, the runes in my rune book. So I got in my closet, and I was looking for my rune book. I used to pull them all the time. And so I got in my closet, and there was a bag in there, and I pulled out this beautiful satin bag, and I thought, what is in this? And I start pulling out all these crystals, my Vogel crystals. I have been looking for these for 4 years. My different malas that I have and things like that in this bag. It's like this magic bag just appeared. But with my amethyst, oh yes. So it has been that kind of day to day. And then, talking about the, the coincidences just start appearing like magic, like in your Raining Cats and Dogs. So, I just love when that happens. But, yes, could you explain that, the 5 and the 8?
I will do. I do have one question for you guys, because I'm always mindful of how I'm trying to convey concepts. And I want to know that, how I'm doing. Am I getting the information across? I know it's very difficult for me a lot of times to put stuff that I'm seeing in words. So I just want to know that you confirm one thing for me there. It's like I want to know that I'm on the right track and trying to explain this where it resonates, where people can see it, right? So I just want to know that I'm on the right track. So here we go. The meaning of the 8 of Cups is that's Chapel Perilous in the what do you call it? Keeper of the Words, Arthurian deck. Abandoning a path, a change of plans, learning that things are not always as they seem, escaping an unhealthy situation, taking the initiative to redirect one's life, heeding warnings, recognizing that one has made a wrong turn in the search for fulfillment, moving on, refusing to accept defeat, reworking priorities, and enacting a congruent lifestyle. And that one is a very fundamental card in that we've all been doing it. We've been walking in the physical realms. We've been trapped in the illusion. And now we're starting to see past the veil. We're lifting that apocalypse off. So that is we're abandoning the physical path. That's what this card resonated to me. All right? And yeah, we've made a lot of wrong turns. Anything in physical was a wrong turn. And there's that catch-22, right? And that's why I tell people, if you decide to stand in the truth, just be watchful, because what's going to happen, and this is a fact, is those things that are possessing you in the material realms, be it family, friends, whatever, any of these attachments, and I know many of you listening have already experienced much of this dissolution, where things, people that you loved and trusted and what have you, abandoned you because of what you were thinking, what you were saying, what you were doing. So that's the universe. You've already found the truth, and what happens is the universe starts pulling all the stuff that is distracting you away from you, so that you can keep true to your path. If but one shall awaken, that's the only focus you need to have, because in that awakening you have saved all. There's only one consciousness here. So when we go outside of ourselves to try to save individuals, one by one, we are being the silly rescue diver trying to save those that are just going to pull us down. So when we look at it from that side of it, it's not good to do that. I've been doing it my whole life, I know. Trust me. I've been drowned many times. But no more. That was the wrong turn I was making all the time, in both physical and spiritual sense. Because what I was doing was not focusing on what I need to do, and that's take care of business with me, and also removing the ability for another being to fall flat in their face so that they can gain the experience. Because it's the all roads, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And of course the intention there was to do the right thing and help and everything else. And that's been part of the illusion, and we've escaped that. So there's your 8 of Cups. Here's the 5. In this deck it is Lancelot and Elaine. So there's your divine feminine, divine masculine. The meaning is partial loss, loneliness, disappointment, and sorrow. Heartache, rejection, an empty marriage or romance. Being let down, unfulfilled hopes and dreams, an unexpected change of plans. Unfair treatment from others, frustration, a need to acknowledge a loss and focus on what blessings one still has. Now we have a different perspective on this. That's exactly what we've all experienced. But when you look at that for what it is, you will see that it is you can assume it to be a negative card, but it's not. What it's telling you is it is that, and it's good as well. Because what it's doing is it's affirming your ability to stand in truth. Because only in the truth will everything around you start to crumble. That's the walls of Jericho. Those are your 7 trumpets. When the 7th trumpet goes off, that is you reaching your crown chakra, finally saying, I've had enough. You have taken the crown of the system off, and you've decided to wear your own that you were born with. That's why when a baby's head, as it's being born, it's crowning. The allegories are all there. We just got to connect the dots. And that has been my only purpose, to be the son and the daughter, to shine light on the dots to connect them. I'm just a messenger. Did you catch that little note I got from Zanya, or Zionist, or whatever her name was? Isn't that funny? That's the kind of stuff you go at. But does that...
that's interesting, Kate, because right when you were reading it, my computer went down, so I didn't hear it. So I'll have to go back and listen.
Oh, okay. It's not very long. I can share it with you. It doesn't matter. We got another 15 minutes here.
Okay.
Only take me a sec, hon. You know why? Because I'm worth it, meaning you.
Yes.
So
another thing that came to me when you were talking, and then Bindi was telling of her downloads, and then you said something about that Blu-ray, is it? Hi, Blu-ray. Was in on the download, and my thought was, every single person who comes on this call is connected to all of our downloads that we get.
Isn't it great?
Yes. Well, because we're all a reflection of each other, of course. But we're all in it together.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, when I speak of downloads, I never say these are my downloads. They're just downloads.
Yes.
These are our downloads.
Mm-hmm. They come from original source.
Bingo.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what part of original source are you? That's right, you are as well. What are the odds? Oh, do you really need credit for it? No.
We have eyes to see and ears to hear.
Bingo. Well, here's the 5 of Cups again. I'll just it has the same energy as the other card, and it's about that dispossessing of the material, of the physical realms, and things that dissolve around us. And you will either have these things removed from you by your choice, or universe will take care of it. Because the minute you stand in the truth,
isn't that interesting? I've been giving things away and just really simplifying my life more and more. But in the back of my mind, I was wondering, whatever happened to those crystals? And after I've been giving everything away, and it's like no big deal, now these just magically appear.
They come from under the clutter.
Exactly. They come out from under the clutter. Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Feng shui, if you will, right? Oh,
yes.
I'm just wondering if that's Eric back. I didn't hear the garage. No, maybe not. Okay, I'm just paying attention because Eric's he'll be back shortly. Okay, anyway, the 5 of Cups is partial loss, loneliness, disappointment, and sorrow, heartache, rejection, an empty marriage or romance, being let down, unfulfilled hopes and dreams, an unexpected change of plans, unfair treatment from others, frustrations, a need to acknowledge a loss and focus on what blessings one still has. Now, in the mirror of that, that's exactly what needs to happen in order for us to grow. We cannot grow physically. We can't grow our spirit physically, right? Physical, as I said earlier in the show, and I will continue to say this, physical is the effect of our spiritual cause. And what we are here are absolute divine essence, trapped under an apocalypse, right? A leather covering. That's what our skin is, leather, right? And excuse me, we have been at effect to it. We spend day to day where we got to feed it, we got to wash it, we got to cut its hair, we got to do its nails and whatever, and dress it and everything else, right? So a lot of the focus is on the meat stick in the physical realm, and we never spend enough time, or any time for the most part, with ourselves, because we're so distracted, we're caught up in the illusions. And once we awaken to these things and we start to share them, that's when we start having that sense of loss, because people don't understand it. We get frustrated, we get dejected, we get sorrow and all these other things, until they either make us or they break us. And the fact that you're all here right now, and I'm talking to ones that were tuned in for the live, and the ones that are, that will get the archive. Not everybody does. A lot of people do, but you're tuned in on the grand scale, right? So I forget where I was going there, but bottom line is this. You found the frequencies that resonate with you, right? This is why you're here. It's why I'm here. I've been doing this for years. And I got to tell you, there have been a lot of beings in my life, and I'm talking very close and even married to them, that, I don't exist in their realms anymore. I don't matter. When I tell people I don't matter, it's not that, that I'm not saying I'm worthless. I'm just saying I don't matter to you. I'm not here to you. Right? That's what I mean when I say I don't matter to you. Right? A lot of people, you take it physical. It's like, oh, you're just feeling sorry. No. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I'm telling you the truth. I don't exist in your realm. If I did, you would call me, or you would text me, or you would email, or you would write, or whatever. You'd come and see me. But you don't, so I don't matter. And that's the analogy, the allegory. And what we're going to find is that all of us that are walking this path, we don't matter to a lot of people. And that's good. Because what it means is you're on your own path. You're finally, you've taken that first step out of the nest, and you've spread your wings. And broken or otherwise, you're flying. And that's what we need to do. Yeah. And when we take control of ourselves, when we take our own wings back, when we start taking care of ourselves and building and changing from within, as within, so without, this is what the butterfly or the dragonfly or the bee's wings do when they flap. They create tsunamis across the universe. Indigo tsunamis.
Yep.
And you're saving everyone by saving yourself. That's why there's no one coming to save you. You're it.
Yep.
No rescue divers allowed anymore.
Just base jumping.
You had the dragons.
What's that, hon?
I said you had the dragon.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Colleen.
Colleen, go ahead.
I was just saying you had the dragonfly, and didn't you say she had the bee today?
Yeah.
And I had the butterfly come. In fact, I even took a beautiful picture of it and posted it on Facebook.
Which I haven't seen yet. So see what I mean?
Yes.
Nothing like a little connecting. That was just a coincidence that I would say all three things: butterfly, dragonfly, and bee.
Yes.
Just a coincidence. Look away, everybody. The wizard's leaving the building. Elvis has left the building. Right?
Stop it, Toto. Stop it.
Yeah. Oh, and there was something else, too. I believe I mentioned it in the essay. It wasn't Dorothy that pulled back the curtain of the wizard.
No.
Dorothy's the door of God. That's your divine essence. You have to get into full character. your Toto Jeannery before that curtain gets pulled back, and you need to know who you are. And you are not a meat stick. That's your playing piece. That's your acting role. I will say it again. Am I not a clue enough for you? Look at the allegory I represent. The war of the divine feminine and masculine. The war in heaven itself. I was at war with myself for 4 decades. More than 4 decades. Until I centered and said, okay, I get it.
The chick with the Adam's apple.
You got it. That's about it. You know, and seriously, where are you gonna hide this kind of truth anyway? You're gonna put it in a place where no one's gonna look, and 2, take it from my perspective. You know, who the hell's gonna listen to me? You know, you spend a lifetime. You spend, like I said, over 4 decades thinking you're a freak, and you know you've got something to offer, but you tell anybody exactly who and what you are, who's going to listen? And as soon as I did, boy, did you see the free man on the lands and all the sovereigns? They ran for the hills. Oh my God! See, they missed the message. They were too focused on the messenger, too focused on the illusion. Don't shoot the messenger, right? But they do. Everybody does. Well, that's the ego. That's the TV stuck on the stupid channel. They should have that.
Well, when you get that, everyone is your mirror, then you love everyone the way they are, and sometimes that's really, really difficult.
Oh yeah.
Even the ones that appear to be, destroying the earth and the corruption, and, if we're all one and we're all a mirror for each other, there's something we need to see in that one that's causing us, distress.
Yep. It's like going to your kids' kindergarten play. It's adorably awful. Just grit your teeth. They'll go away. You get through it.
And something else too, how I solve that, and I'll finish this off. We've got about 4.5 minutes. I'm going to throw a rescue on just to close this off. It just needs to be done. What was I going to say there? How I deal with that part, the dark and things that I wouldn't do. I just say to myself, well, there's some people that just don't get it or whatever. So there's parts of my consciousness I don't like, and I'll I'm going to sort me out, and it'll sort that out at the same time. So and yeah, there are people that you'll meet every single day that will just drive you mental. But there you go.
I try to ask myself, what would love do?
Yeah, which reminds me, tomorrow night I will have If Love Could, and I'll tell you what love can do. Promise. On that note,
that sounds beautiful.
We'll end with a song and send this out to everybody. Thank you guys so much for being so tuned in. Thank you, criticalmassradio.co.uk. I can't thank you enough. And what a gathering of angels. What a precious gathering. Couldn't be happier. Much love to you guys.
Much love to you.
Night, Kate.
Good night.
Bye, lovely.
Night, Blu-ray, Bindi. Night, Kate.
Good night, you guys.
Good night, John Boy.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
Good night, John Boy. Or better yet, good night, Lawn Boy. Good night, Jim Bag. Here we go. Rescue. Love you.
Love you.
All right. Okay. Rescue. Here we go. I think if we get people emailing in, they can decide whether this song makes the album or not. All right.
Take my hand, rest your weary heart a moment. One last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, an island in your stormy waters, and rescue is just a word away. just a word away. I've watched you try, I've seen you spread your wings to fly, without a place to land, not so much as one horizon, but you push on through every wall that still surrounds you. Set down your stubborn pride, it's a friendship I can't hide, so take my hand. Rest your weary heart a moment, one last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, an island in your stormy waters, and rescue is just a word away, it's just a word away. You think that I don't hear you when you say you'll find that's true. It's what you cannot say, it's your eyes that give away. I know when my friend's hurting, that's why I'll share the burden. I've been where you are right now, I'm still there, still learning how. So take my hand, rest your weary heart a moment, one last.
Video provided by verdictproductions.com.